Hey everybody, welcome back to the Superior Adventures Guild. Thanks for being here with us. We are about to launch into, I guess, the finale of this short shot that Christian, aka Bleak Season, has taken us through, this Paradise Valley experience as mutant animals. Before I turn it over to Christian, I just want to say, Travis, Miko, Ethan, you guys, awesome playing with you. I know that we'll play more games together. I'm so glad that you're all part of this. And yeah, thanks for doing this and jumping in on something different. It's been super fun, and I'm excited to hear more about your characters, either in game or out of game, as we explore more of their backstories. And with that, Christian, I'm going to turn over to you, the game master extraordinaire. Thanks for doing this. It's all yours, friend.
Extraordinary. You're really buttering me up here, Dave.
No, don't TPK us.
Not any safer for all the buttering you're doing. In fact, buttering makes the downward slope that much faster.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone out there watching us do this crazy thing. So just a brief sort of lowdown about the game Genlab Alpha. The players are all playing mutated animals, basically, who have become humanoids, and who for generations now have lived in this giant outdoor prison called Paradise Valley, where they live a fairly free life, but are constantly watched over by robots and drones and machines who occasionally kidnap them and take them away, and sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. The players are currently, or the characters are currently, in the midst of trying to find a bear named Truffaut, because they've been given a mission by another bear who was dying and who gave them a little cube, a little mechanical thing or a high technological thing to bring back to Truffaut. And what they realized that cube can do is that it can open doors to the underworld beneath Paradise Valley, where they've already uncovered a few dark secrets, as well as they managed to find a very powerful weapon to fight against the machines. So they are currently trying to find Truffaut, and we'll see where that leads, if there's a greater secrets to be uncovered. My name is Christian, Bleak Season on Twitter, the Bleak Season. Run games here, there, everywhere. No, actually, just here, really, in my basement, because the way the life goes. But super stoked to be here. Super stoked to be finishing the storyline. And I would like to give the players now brief opportunity to tell us a little bit about themselves and the character they are playing. We will start with the newbie, Ethan, who joined us halfway through. If you would, please tell us about yourself.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, my name is Ethan. I'm a D&D player, a miniature painter, and dabble in other RPGs like this one now, and Genlab Alpha, but also I played Viking Death Squad with Dave's crew, and I do a bit of Call of Cthulhu on the side as well. I am today playing a humanoid chimpanzee whose name is Schrodinger17, but also goes by Rocky, and that may come out today. He's a healer and searching for things with these fellow travelers. And when I'm not playing on Guild Superior's channel in this game, you can find me on my own Twitch channel, Armin something on Twitch, and that's, again, where I stream miniature painting on Wednesday nights in New Zealand and live play with miniatures, Dungeons and Dragons, and a Greyhawk campaign on New Zealand Sundays. Awesome to be here, and yeah, we'll see where this next several hours takes us.
Nice. Thank you very much. Miko, if you would.
Hi there, I am Miko. You can find me most places, social media stuff, Twitter most of the time at @the_okayest_GM. I do all kinds of TTRPG stuff, been at it for decades, and most of what I do these days is creating homebrew content, which you can find most of which on D&D Beyond for free to use as you would like. Links and stuff I think are showing up in the chat at some point. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. I am playing Pacino, the bear warrior, kind of the aged grizzly veteran of the group, as it were. Har har. That just tries to herd these cats into a direction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pacino, Mr. Miko. Travis, if you would, please.
Hi, I'm Travis, also known as Eversalt. You can find me on Twitter as Skane Eversalt. I mostly do my usual ramblings on there. And my YouTube channel that I do a lot of, like a mix of comedy and gaming for videos on YouTube, but still working on my the co-stream I did with Dave. The next one we'll be working on the third session. And tonight I am playing as Page 42, our healer box turtle. Pretty much the traumatized turtle of the group. I couldn't put it any differently than that. As
He's literally the trauma center of the group.
the trauma center. Especially after the end of the last session, I am basically in an ICU at this point. Brought to you by our buddy Rocky here. That was great.
Thank you very much, Travis. Before I throw it back to the man, the myth, the legend, DM Dave, I'd like to give a special shout out to Chad Vamp Wickman, who played with us at the beginning of this game, who unfortunately had to go. But we hope he's doing well, and I want to thank him for signing up to this originally and helping us get started in the beginning. So, hard to you, Vamp. DM Dave.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Y'all know me. My name's Dave. I run games, play games, and produce games here on Guild Superior. Just always thrilled to bring people together to do fun things. And yeah, like I said earlier, I just really appreciate you guys playing. There's going to be a lot more games on the way, so a lot of opportunities for folks to get involved. One easy way to find out about what we've got planned is to join our Discord community, which we would encourage you to do. It's a fun, safe place to hang out and talk about games and connect with people who are looking for players. And if you're looking to run a game, you can find players, etc. So check that out. Right now, we are in the throes of wrapping up a 2.5+ year campaign in Greyhawk called Beyond Saltmarsh, and I've never been so attached to something like this before in my life. It's the first big campaign that I've run. I mean, I've never run anything 2.5 years, so very excited to see where that where that takes us, how things end, and then we're going to be kicking off a new storyline, which will happen in that same general time frame. So, and we'll be looking for to add some players to that table. So think about that and reach out if you're interested. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Yeah, really. Thanks for being here, everybody who's in the chat, and folks who are watching this later on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel too that you can check out, where we put all of our archived vids. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it back to one of the other 5 myths and legends that are on the screen currently right now. But the bleakest one.
The bleakest one. The myth maker. All right. Thank you very much, Dave. All right. Well, since we're doing without ado, let us jump right into this thing. We have a lot to do tonight. A lot of parties to totally kill. No, I'm kidding. I am absolutely kidding. All right. So you guys last session. Oh, look, your familiar is joining us, Travis. And I think he's gonna kill your
cat trick. Hey, buddy.
So last session, you guys had managed to having basically just managed to exit the lab that you'd uncovered and had crossed the mountain. Had come across Rocky here, and fox named Savitskaya, both of whom were also looking for Truffaut. So you had joined forces with them and headed through the valley, searching for this elusive bear named Truffaut. Along the way, you had seen some of the horrors perpetrated by the machines. Namely, you had come across a small isolated shack where a family of raccoons were living, and you had arrived just as they were being taken away by a bunch of machines, but the machines were too numerous, too well equipped. You couldn't really risk going in and helping them as much as it really hurt you to have to sort of leave them be. But a little bit later, you did come across somebody else in need of help, a moose named Coleridge, who had been captured by a couple of machines. And I'm totally skipping over the absolutely bonkers acid flashback that you went on, but I think the less said about that, probably the better. But you did go there, and you can go watch the VOD to see the madness.
Yeah.
And you had managed to rescue the Coleridge, but not without a little bit of fear as to what might happen to the intrepid hare Lloyd, who took it upon himself to jump up on the flying machine to help bring it down, and Page, who was wielding the super duper gun, but strained himself so much in the process that he basically passed out and fell on top of Rocky. And Savitskaya and Pacino barely managing to escape the crumbling bridge into the icy waters below after Pacino had laid waste to one of the machines with his sledgehammer. And that is where we left our friends, with Rocky having patched up Travis with something other than duct tape this time, because the duct tape was good, but it's very transitory, sort of patching up. And I was looking at the actual, just a little parenthesis here, but I was looking at the rule book, and there's actually duct tape is one of the artifacts that you can find in the rule
Nice.
book. So
It'll always
you
be there.
managed to sort of get a little bit of rest, eat some food and drink, so you can erase any and all damage that you've accumulated in the last fight, as you take a little bit of time after securing Coleridge. He needs a little bit of time to get back to his own senses anyways, as he was very direly injured by the machines while being captured. Once Coleridge and everyone were up and running, you started heading further north towards where Coleridge said he had last seen this bear Truffaut. So after rescuing the moose Coleridge, he tells you how Truffaut came to him a few days ago, asking about a cave that speaks. Coleridge knew about this cave. He himself stood far away from it because he didn't think it was very kosher, but he did agree to take Truffaut there. And once they got there, Truffaut had asked him to leave him alone so that he could sort of meditate or sort of inspect the cave. And Coleridge, not being the kind of moose to be too disagreeable, and figuring, he's a bear, what could happen to him, left him there overnight. However, the next morning when he returned, Truffaut was gone. But Coleridge did not dare go in the cave. That was a few days ago. And then this morning, the watchers that you saw had come for him. Now you are following Coleridge through the forest, the snowy forest, as he's leading you towards the cave that speaks, in the hope that you can find this Truffaut. Is there anything you would like to talk about amongst yourselves in the short while before you manage to reach the cave?
I feel like Lloyd would
imagine Coleridge's. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I can imagine Coleridge's big, kind of like gangly legs in the snow, and kind of, moose always have.
Coleridge stands several feet above all of you, with only Pacino sort of being about his equal in stature, but with his woods, which are huge, and he's got all sorts of little bits and things kind of dangling from them, little beads and little pieces of leather and things that he's sort of put. I think he's got his lunch up there too, quite possibly, and a little nest of owlings that are just sort of chilling up there. No, and he's just this very big. So that the moose, or meese, is that how we say plural of moose, meese? The moose in the valley tend to be solitary. They don't congregate with others of their kind, or anybody else for that matter. And he certainly is very sort of taciturn and doesn't speak much. But if anyone wanted to speak to him, he would certainly answer. But yeah, he's kind of this big plodding thing with a staff, and he's kind of leading you very unerringly, though, through the forest.
We get the sense that he's some kind of a seer, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I think
As
that
you had seen him in one of your visions,
Lloyd,
and he had seen you in turn.
Yeah, Lloyd would
Or he saw
definitely want to
you.
talk to him more about that if the opportunity were to arise.
The opportunity is there.
Kind of
I will-
hopping along through the snow with Lloyd's big hare feet, certainly not a snowshoe hare, but jumping through the snow. He probably floats on top a little bit better than some of the others, trying to keep up with Coleridge, and just kind of as he's taking these big sort of steps, this rabbit is just kind of hopping, trying to talk to him. But look, your friend, this Truffaut, right? He disappeared, you think, into this cave that speaks? Has this cave said anything to you in particular about like what we're getting into, or I mean, your friend? Do you think he was taken by these machine things? I mean, what are we up against here? You got any insights? Also, another question. This is a two-parter. There might be 3 or 4, but we'll start with 2. What do you make of this? And Lloyd is gonna procure these weird synthetic. He has 1 dose of this synthetic hallucinogen that he had at the beginning of this adventure.
Mhm.
Not the Pez dispenser, but this other weird.
Yeah.
He's like,
synthetic mushrooms.
yeah. You ever seen these? They're not like real mushrooms. They have similar effect on the visionary processes. But I don't know where they came from or what they are. They manufactured. What do you know? Anything?
No,
Shit.
I'm kidding. Show me these things again.
You go. Just kind of jumping and trying to hold it up to his face.
Yeah, he'll take them from you and look at them and. Yes, I've seen this before. The machines, sometimes the ones that buzz up in the sky, will sometimes drop them as they fly by, perhaps in the hope that some unsuspecting animal will eat them and thus poison themselves with them.
I can't imagine there'd be an animal stupid enough to do that, am I right?
Well, sometimes food can be scarce. I guess one might be tempted to. I don't know what the effects would be, however.
Well, let's just say they're very enlightening effects.
Is that what you use to spark your visions, then?
Interestingly enough, most recently it's been a lot of synthetics. Previous to that, I was foraging for the psychotropic shrooms and herbs and things to sort of enter that state of mind. But I don't know. I've come across these things. It just seemed I had the intuition. It seemed like the right thing to do, but now I don't know. My friend over there, and he kind of gestures towards Paige. Something changed with him. I don't know. I'm worried about him. If you see anything, will you let us know in your visions?
I'm still answering the first question you asked.
Shit, that was the 3rd one.
As far as these things go, I think one should always be wary of putting things in their mouths that are not made by nature. If you are careful and learn where to look, you can find things in nature that can help unlock your mind and guide your thoughts as well as any of these things, but they will be much safer and perhaps less poisonous than these things made by the machines, who have brought nothing but danger and evil to our land, really. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a little pouch, and next time you're in the mood, perhaps try this instead and see if it doesn't give you the same clarity of spirit and mind, and you'll find it, I'm sure, much more agreeable. As for your friend Paige, he seems to have a lot on his mind. Perhaps he's simply looking to unload a little bit of his burden. It can be difficult to walk with a heavy pack on one's back, and such a thing is always made much easier to carry with friends to share the load.
Well said. I appreciate your insights, and yeah, this little group, even that big one over there is kind of, he wants to eat me sometimes, I think. But even Pacino, they're good peoples. Not sure about this other one and that one there, but they seem on the level. So here we are, kind of our own little tribe.
I don't know the one in the hat, but I've met Savitskaya before, and she has nothing but the best interest of other animals at heart.
Well, then here we are, family. Isn't that something? Hey, guys, we're family. What do you guys think about that?
He looks over at you guys. Does he ever shut up?
Lloyd, I'm going to cook you into a stew if you don't be quiet.
I was afraid you'd say that.
I've known Lloyd for half a day, and no, I can answer he has never shut up once. Good man, though. Rabbit man.
As long as most of what he says carries some wisdom to it, even if you have to look for it harder than a squirrel looks for a nut in the middle of January, then all is good.
Lloyd
get used
saved
to
our
it.
bacon at the bridge.
It seems like these things blow up a lot. That's
I was
concerning.
trying to be very quiet.
It's okay. I was just showing you we have the exact same bottle.
Oh,
Yours
wow.
is bigger now. Yours is much
I
bigger
got-
than mine.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to get myself to drink like a gallon of water a day. So, I mean, fill the whole damn thing.
Good man.
Anybody else want to have a chat with someone whilst you're walking along this path?
Can I side up to Coleridge as well, but also I guess Lloyd, if Lloyd's still hopping along there, and I just want to, because I've heard of Truffaut. I'll tell him this, and I guess Lloyd can hear me as well. I'll say Coleridge. I've heard of this Truffaut. Savi has spoken very highly of him, and so we're very concerned about his whereabouts, his health. I think that the survival of many of us depends upon him. So, is there any clues or anything you saw at the head of the mouth of this cave that sings that might have given us some indication of what happened? Was there any sign of struggle? Any marks on the ground? You moose, you meese, you have keen smell, keen sight. Can you think back of anything that might help us locate him?
You'll have to figure that out. I'm not much of a hunter. I only saw the place where he made camp and his footprints leading into the cave. Truffaut is very smart, and like all bears, and he spares a glance at Pacino, capable of coming out of the direst scrape, even if they lose a little piece or two of themselves along the way. They are formidable. He seemed to have a lot on his mind, but I think that there are things that occupy it that go beyond what you or I worry about. You and I worry about food and shelter for the day. I think Truffaut has a bigger plan or worries about something much grander. I think he worries about all the animals in this valley. If you find him, you should make sure to speak with him about some of the things that he says he saw beyond the fence on the eastern ridge. I think that perhaps if you hear him speak this way, you will understand why he fears for us all and why he thinks that it may be time for us to do more than simply accept our lot in life.
That's what brought me here. I've spent most of my adult life getting by, doing what's required in our primate council, and just lately, in the last 2 years, it seems like I'm not living a lie, but it's not right. It's not. I think some of the elders of our council think, we should still succumb to the Watchers and others. But I just, yeah, I've had enough. Had enough of a good and easy life, or an easy life. But it's time to make some hard decisions, I think.
Perhaps this is the winter that will finally shake some of us out of our torpor. It can be easy to focus on our day-to-day problems and find it disagreeable to make the effort to address the bigger ones. The simple fact that you are here now, that you have sought out Truffaut, that you are doing what you are doing, all of you, as he turns around and sort of encompasses everyone. The fact that you are all right now walking with me towards this cave, knowing of the danger that quite possibly lurks within it and the danger that is all about us, already speaks volume about all of you and perhaps what you are willing to do. Perhaps this is truly the winter of our discontent now, and perhaps we will be part of the group of people who finally make a glorious summer.
I just kind of step back and let him carry on.
I'm gonna
as he finishes that oration, I think Pacino just, out of respect was as listening and all of that, but there's just a part of him that, doesn't feel anything from it, and he just lets a heavy sigh and starts trudging back along towards the cave.
Lloyd will look over at Schrodinger and he'll say,
I never thought about it myself, what this was all about and how controlled our lives were. But now I know, and I'll be damned if I'll sit by and watch more members of our tribe get sacrificed like we were gonna be. For what? They've used their authoritarianism to, how do I even know that word? They've used their power to suppress us, to turn ourselves against each other. It doesn't seem right, and I'm glad you're here.
I never did either. I've spent, like I said, my life has been one of relative comfort, all things considered, and patterned life, a patterned fine life that I can get up every day and know what's going on, and it may not be the best, but then you think more deeply about the problems and the death and essentially the slavery, and you kind of, like Ed Coleridge might not be hearing this, but kind of, as the Moose said, the torpor, the kind of I woke up, and I feel like
this
now,
one? Was it this one that woke you up? This Savvy? I mean, what was it?
I went talking and looking to members of my tribe, not the council. The elders of the council are not interested in change. Just through channels and discussions and glances, I was led to, Savvy came to me and talked to me about and told me what I was feeling was correct and right, and that it's easy to accept, it's easy to accept your life, and it's easy to not change, but nothing will ever be, it'll always be the same if we don't act now. And that's what kind of woke me up, made me realize I need to take a bit of a chance and see this through.
I think the chance that you've taken in the facts that we're all here together, it was this is gonna sound kind of cliche, and maybe, I don't know, I'm just gonna say it like it was meant to be. I mean, I've seen Savvy before in my visions. That's not just coincidence, So I feel good. We might be walking into our demise, but we're doing the right thing. Anyways, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks, man.
And as you're going along, Savitskaya will sort of lope ahead a little bit and come up besides Pacino and go, "You okay there, big guy? It was a pretty close call back there."
Just kind of flex the sore shoulder that, I feel like got pulled out of its socket, partially throwing the moose, and shrug a bit and say, "Just another day."
Don't seem to be buying with what Coleridge is slinging around there.
I don't know. I've seen too many animals think that they're gonna see something new or find some new purpose. And usually that involves them deluding themselves in some capacity and thinking they can make their way over the wall or make their way past a machine or something, and usually it ends up in them being dead. And I just feel like we've lost a lot of smart animals to dumb things. And I'm not sure if this is a dumb thing or not. Maybe it is. I just know that there's a bear that needs some help. And I made a promise to somebody that was smart and is now dead. So that's what I'm doing.
We have lost a lot of good animals, but I think the real difference lies in the fact that I'd rather die, if that's what I'm supposed to do, fighting and sort of clutching hope that things can be different, and I'm working towards that, than just sort of survive and wait for it to come and find me,
Yeah, that's fine. I'm never going to begrudge someone something that they feel they need to do to make their life better, as long as it doesn't hurt someone else in the process,
I agree. Lloyd's his name? He keeps looking at me. Should I be worried?
You don't have anything to worry about from Lloyd, unless he tries to get you high. Then you should probably worry a little.
I'll keep that. I'll take that piece of advice. So as you're all going along here, anybody else want to have a chat with someone? You might all be dead in 10 minutes. So
Lloyd definitely wants to check in with Paige.
Mm-hmm.
Then Catrick.
Sorry, he's having one of his moments where everything up here is interesting.
He wants to play.
So how's Paige feeling? What's Paige up to during this walk?
He's, he's close enough that he can hear, what Pacino is saying, and Paige is a little pensive, just contemplating what that meant, to focus on a promise, or just thinking about simply just the task ahead of him, and it's making him think a little bit more about his own self. Like, what am I doing? Am I doing what I'm doing? This is like all internal dialogue, so I'd have to say it's, he's definitely thinking things over while like occasionally glancing over at Pacino. And what would have been a question that he would have had for, oh Jesus. So
Your cat can whistle?
There?
No,
there?
no, I think that's my partner. She probably realized that he's being an absolute terror right now, so she's just trying to get his attention. So yeah, he's being a little silly. Get in there. There you go. All right, he's gone. We know your Ethan. We know your character is Schrodinger or Rocky. I'm trying to make that understood.
Rocky, I think, is what he had done.
Okay.
I knew him as Rocky, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that like I had that because I. Okay. She's got it. and listening to Rocky was asked the question that he was actually even going to ask him, like, what brought you to this at this point? Like, it's literally like all I would have asked anybody has already been basically taken care of just by silently listening to this. And I feel like that really does, like, he's internalizing some of this. He still seems like he's left carrying something he doesn't know how to get rid of.
I feel like Paige would notice that, and Lloyd would notice that, and Lloyd is definitely feeling like something happened during the vision, so he's gonna kind of drop back.
Yeah, Paige, how you doing, buddy? You look like you deep in thought back here. Is everything okay?
I think so. Every one of you definitely has some there's a lot of wisdom I'm hearing today. It makes me think about what I'm doing here. I've just been keeping along with you guys. I know that I don't want to be alone. That's
You're part of our tribe, man. You're one of us now. You're my friend, and I don't know what you saw during that voyage of space and time, but I don't know. It was I saw some weird things, and I know you carry something heavy, and sometimes those types of experiences can really bring it out, So if you need to talk about it, I don't know. Things happen for a reason. You're here because you're supposed to be here. All right, buddy? I don't know.
It is nice of you to say that. I, fortunately, up until now, I've been under the belief that things happen because somebody else is moving pieces. The things are always just coincidental. There isn't like a grand scheme or, terrible things happen. It's either because you put yourself there or somebody else laid that before you.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, and that's been our whole life, right? We've been controlled, but now we're making our own decisions here. Nobody's forcing us to do this. I mean, we feel like we've got purpose, maybe, but whether or not it's for ill, for good, for right, for wrong, the good decision or the bad decision, we made the decision for ourselves. We're moving the pieces now, buddy.
Oh, you're right. Lloyd, I've seen plenty individuals that felt like they had their own destiny in their hand, not realizing that some things took that away from them. And I hope that never happens to us.
You and me both, buddy. He's gonna put his arm around Paige.
Sorry, I'm getting myself pretty bad. Every time, yeah. So you put your arm over, and he just kind of like shifts the rifle, like the folded up rifle, to the other arm, and just puts his arm like under yours but around yours. And of course, I'm pretty sure that because you're a hair, it practically wraps around you.
Yeah, I'm pretty skinny.
Yeah, so you got like a whole freaking shell to reach around, and I'm sure you got a little bit of duct tape that's like
I'll just hold on to the duct tape,
fluttering a little
Flapping
bit.
in the wind.
Nice stream.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a built-in streamer. Well, thank you. How's it looking?
Oh, it's looking great, man. I mean, we're going into the cave that speaks to find some guy we never met. It's good. I'm sure it'll be fine.
We're here.
Oh shit, we're here.
Christian, can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
Did Rocky, hear what Pacino was saying? Because Pacino was kind of essentially saying, my motivation right now is my character. I mean, Rocky's motivation is, I mean, Pacino doesn't agree with that. Pacino thinks that's kind of like, it seems to me kind of ridiculous motivation. So I want to know if I overheard him say that. Sounds like he's kind of speaking directly to me.
Well, I will say this. When you spoke, Pacino, were you careful about sort of keeping it just between you and Savvy, or did you boom out?
I think so.
Pacino is a giant bear. I think even if he tries to whisper, his voice just carries, and he wasn't trying to whisper. Like, he is not the type to kind of conceal things in that way. So yeah, I think he speaks his mind, and when he speaks his mind, he doesn't hide it.
Okay, so yeah, so you heard him. You heard him as he was speaking. Do you want to do anything about that, like shoot him in the back, or
no? No, it's just no, not at all. I just want to make sure, because that's when someone, you guys all know how that works in your head. So no, I'm just.
Are you going to say anything about it, or do you want to just
no, I'm not.
keep it under your hat for later?
Keep it under my hat.
All right. So as you arrive near this lake that's frozen right now, and is surrounded by a lot of evergreen trees and covered in snow right now. There's not a single other animal around. There's not a butterfly around. There wouldn't be because it's winter, but yeah, there's nothing. Like, there's literally no sign of life anywhere around here. And under this one sort of giant tree that's just on the edge of a lake, you find the remains of a fire and the unmistakable dent in the snow and ground that a sleeping bear would make. And the fire looks to be several days old at this point, and it doesn't require much of a tracking ability to see, even though there's a little bit of a dusting of snow that has come since then, to see tracks, a couple of bear paws heading towards the cave. However, you do also notice, and this is something Savitskaya will point out as a tracker herself, if ever no one else would be able to do it, that there's evidence of pacing right next to it. So she really feels that he hesitated a lot before finally deciding to go in. And she says he, in fact, probably has taken the better part of a morning, just kind of pacing around. And he sat over on that boulder there for a little while, and then he came back to the fire and, had some lunch. We can see one of his little wrappers here. He likes to eat these little pieces of dried fish that he keeps with him at all time. That's one of those wrappers. You can smell it from here. And but he definitely hesitated, but eventually he went in. All of this while you're hearing, coming from the cave, this sound that is a voice. You do not understand what the voice is saying. It's pretty loud, and it's reverberating through the cave, and the cave is acting as sort of like a natural speaker, so that you've been hearing this voice actually for the better part of some time. It is a voice that is warm, welcoming, feels gentle, but you don't understand the words, and it just reverberates. And after being around for a little while, you realize that after, a little bit of time, what would be to us, a few minutes, you start hearing the same sounds again. So it's like there's some sort of loop or something like that kind of happening, and then there'll be a pause, and then it'll start over again, and it'll go on for a few minutes, and when you hear the voice, it really kind of like, if you were walking by and you heard his voice, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go check that out. Like, it's really kind of welcoming and unctuous, and what have you.
Could I ask a question about that?
Yep.
So when we were in the bank vault type place where whoever it was had been listening to the record and the record was skipping, like there was an obvious discordant element to that where the music would go and then it would falter and reset and go again. I know we can't understand the words, but does the tone feel like that, or does it seem to naturally flow off before its pause and then pick back up again?
Yeah, it definitely, the second one, it definitely feels like there's a completion to the message or whatever it is that it's saying. Then there's a voluntary pause, and then it starts over. It doesn't feel like a skipping thing like the record.
Okay, thank you.
Is the voice female or male, or can we tell?
It's hard to tell. It's
Okay.
like almost like a bit of both. Almost, it's very. It lacks individuality or uniqueness aside from its if it was it would be, if it was a piece of music, it would be a commercial jingle.
I think as we're
start all this.
I think as we're investigating the camp and whatnot, and we see the rock that Truffaut was sitting on, and all of that, I think I will look around and then look over at Lloyd and say, do you think you could try another one of your visions? Maybe have a seat on the rock. Try to see if you can pick up on what was going on before he went in.
Yeah. Of course, I can give it a try. Let me just clear out a little space here. And he takes his foot and he just scrapes some snow away and sits down on a tree stump. Crosses his legs, pulls out this stuff. Actually, he's going to try the stuff that Coleridge gave him.
Coleridge says, "You're going to need this," and he gives you a little sort of porcelain bowl and starts making a little fire underneath it. And do we have any water? Could someone fetch some water?
Yeah, not a problem. I am plenty around us. I pulls out the thermos. I mean, I could use a little bit of what we have, or I can make some real quick.
Just whatever fresh water you have will be fine. Rocky, is that a bedroll I see in your pack there? Could I borrow it?
Indeed, yeah. I'll hand that over to Coleridge.
So he'll show you, Lloyd, how to put some water in a bowl, get it boiling a little bit, spread some of the little herbs that he gave you on there, and then he'll make you a little tent over your head. I'll tell you, as you inhale deeply, you want to be clearing your mind of anything that is not the question that you seek to answer. Bring to mind anything that you have. Savitska, do you have anything that perhaps belongs to Truffaut? She's like, I have this that he gave me, and she'll come over, and from her, her fur back here, she'll pull a little clip, and there's like a little piece of a feather that's kind of hung to it, little yellow feather. She said, he gave me this the day that I joined the day that we became friends, and she'll come over to Lloyd and she'll take it and she'll clip it just behind your ear a little bit and smooth the fur over it. And
that's nice.
What about the box?
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
in possession of, right? Can you?
Well, Lloyd has it, so that little cube. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say Lloyd will take that out as he's sitting underneath this little tent and just hold on to that in one hand, and have the bowl of steaming broth. I'm assuming it's kind of my interpretation, and the steam coming off of it. He's breathing in.
So do
I drink this, or do I just inhale?
No, you just want to inhale it, and you don't want to stay there for too long. You'll take perhaps a dozen deep breaths, and then lean back and remove the cover and allow your senses to flow out throughout this valley.
All right. This is great. All right. He starts taking some deep breaths, And in his mind, he's going, I don't think this is working. This ain't working. And he looks down at this hot liquid, and he just brings the cup up to his mouth, and he just takes a big whiff, and then takes a taste. Oh God! And then he just kind of lays back down.
The tents like this.
Lays down with the tesseract-like cubic device in his hand.
Give me a scry roll.
All right. Does this particular concoction provide any additional dice to this roll?
Plus 2 dice.
Okay. All right, so that's going to be
Just like as if a chatter gave someone advantage. I'll just put that out there.
Yeah. All right, so that's that, and 2 dice for my gear, and a scry. I've got a lot of dice here, guys.
Awesome. Rocky's just looking around, scanning the landscape while this is all going on. Just keep an eye out for approaching anything. Looking to the snow flurries.
I got two radioactive symbols, no failures.
All right. So you lay down and you have the little feather that's tickling your ear and your fur down there, and you have the little tesseract cube, and you're kind of, getting on the blanket. That thing you drank is, warming on the inside. It was a little disgusting when you drank it, but now it's kind of spreading nice and warm, like a nice warm tea, inside your chest. And you're feeling very different than usually do. Usually when you have used your other methods of sort of helping you scry, it's always very kind of jarring and very kind of, it really upends your world and kind of spins you upside down. And this time it feels more like kind of waking from a nice gentle nap in the afternoon, and you find yourself alone here on the side of this lake. One thing that you notice is that you don't seem to have the use of your right eye, as your vision seems to be somewhat obstructed on that side. And then you find yourself pacing back and forth and standing at the edge of the cave and listening to the voice and sitting down on the rock. But the more you sit there and the more you listen to the voice that's coming out of the cave, the more it starts to overlap with other voices that you've heard before. And then you feel yourself sort of moving very slowly, very calmly, as if you're standing up, but the land beneath you is shifting, as if something that's far away, the land has kind of slipped under you, and now you are up to this fence, this big metal fence with electricity running through it and lights on the top and reinforced steel beams and writings that you can't read on them. And you're looking on the other side of this gate and you see figures, but they're not quite like animals. They don't have fur, they don't have tails, they don't have fangs. They look a lot like some of those pictures you saw in that first lab, with just sort of skin and some hair and wearing thick clothes and sort of milling about and talking to each other, and the voices you hear from the cave sort of meld with these voices, and they look at you, and as you look at them, they wave at you. And as you see them, you kind of feel like, as you're waving back, you kind of feel like these are the humans. They're the ones who created us. They're the ones who brought us on this earth. They're the ones who made us. Why are they on the other side of this? Why are they beckoning me to join them? And then as you sort of see them, it's kind of like you're sort of being shot back, and you're back at the entrance of the cave, and then you hear the words, and the words inside the cave say, "You are welcome. Please come in. Here you will find the answers. Here you will find comfort. Here you will find everything that you need." And as you hear that, you sort of start coming to where you lay. And before Lloyd wakes up, the rest of you guys, the moose, while Lloyd was out, the moose has taken the pot and he's busted out some cups and he's poured it around a little bit, and he says, "Nothing like a little bit of chamomile tea to warm us during the cold winter days." And he passes the chamomile tea around from pod that Lloyd sniffed from. And so Lloyd, as you wake up, very
good tea.
calmly, very sort of relaxed, not having had like your crazy all over the place kind of vision, you see all of them kind of sitting around drinking from tin cups.
That was very, very vivid. I feel I have a sense of clarity of what I saw. You guys, look, I saw them, the ancients, the humans, the our creators, the ones that they were beyond the fences. They were trying to communicate.
I'm sorry. The word that comes to your mind is they have returned.
They have returned, is what I was gonna say. I don't know what it means, but the voice, the voice from inside the cave, it said something to the effect of the answers to our questions. Why would they be calling to us?
Are you sure you're okay, Lloyd? You look like you're constipated.
I've never felt better in my life, Pacino. Never more clear. Yeah, they've returned for us. Maybe to help us against these machines. Maybe we gotta go inside. We gotta go in. The cave is the answer.
We're going to go in. I'm glad you feel better about it, though.
I will wait for you here. I will not do as I did with Truffaut and abandon you. I will wait here for you to return, and should you not return within a day or so, I will go and find more help. But this time, I'll make sure to bring back enough animals so that if you're in danger, we may help you. But I trust that you will be able to help Truffaut.
Yeah,
We're gonna try.
I think we will.
So what do you do?
Did Coleridge earlier use the phrase "beyond the fence"? He did as we were walking up, didn't he? Yeah. Okay. So as Lloyd's describing this, Rocky's kind of just thinking back to the, Coleridge's soliloquy as we walked up the, up the ridgeline or whatever, in the snow up to here. So things are fitting together in Rocky's mind.
So what do you do?
Lloyd is shouldering his gear. You've never seen Lloyd so ready after one of his visions before. He's has a strange energy.
I'm ready.
I'll follow him. I'll follow Lloyd to the ends of the earth.
Oh, that's sweet of you. That's
certain
sweet.
doom.
I don't know whether or not to be
shout-
concerned. I don't know whether to be concerned, but this is different.
We do want to look in the cave before we just kind of breach past the drip line. We want to kind of look in the cave and see what we can see. That's at least as we're walking towards it. If we're walking towards it, that's what Rocky's saying. Let's take a moment to recce.
Yeah, it's still hella ominous. That's for sure. I mean, I feel good about going there, but it's still dicey. Let's let's scout it out.
Yeah.
So as you approach the cave, there's a little breeze, and it brings that little feather you have behind your ear there, Lloyd, kind of moving forward, and it kind of tickles your nose a little bit.
What? This means something.
Well, if it means that much,
Sappy's still with us?
keep it, sugar. Looks good on you anyways.
If rabbits could blush.
Ah,
I forgot earlier that Savsky had a southern accent. So as you approach she gives Lloyd a wink, and as you approach the entrance of the cave, rummages through her backpack and pulls out what looks like a little black stick like this, and when she presses a button, this beam of light shoots out from in front of it, and she starts illuminating out of the cave.
What the hell is that thing?
Oh, it's a flashlight, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you guys were talking about that yesterday. Cool.
Yeah. Gina knows his flashlights. Right?
I don't know. I like yours better, Paige.
I like mine better too. Just pass it a little bit.
That's definitely more effective against them damn machines. This looks safe enough for now. Just think maybe we're gonna go deaf from the noise of that thing hollering at us from down there, but let's go and see what that's all about. So as you move deeper into the cave, it really narrows down really kind of quickly. And eventually you get to an area where it narrows down really down to like just enough room for one of you to pass at a time. And Pacino's gonna have to kind of like, do the sideways crawl a little bit. But on either side of it are these two big sort of black circular grills, and that's where the sound is coming from that you're hearing. It's just coming from these two grills that are mounted up on the side of the door. And as you get close by, the sound becomes like really, really kind of heavy. And then as you move just past it and into the corridor, it fades away really quickly as the sound is really carried well sort of outside the cave of this. If you would turn to Owlbear the Rodeo.
Yeah.
Owlbear the Rodeo.
Yeehaw.
Here it is.
As you approach into this corridor, you come up to a door very similar to the one you saw in the other cave. A large metal door with some yellow and black striped sort of paint down one side and a big red number on the other side. It says 09 on it.
Lloyd pulls out the cube.
All right, let's see, how does this thing work again?
As soon as you start pulling out the cube and kind of playing around with it, it automatically starts again. The lights start coming up around it. It starts to vibrate a little bit, and it kind of levitates up from your hand. And as it's spinning, it doesn't draw out a map this time, but as it's spinning, you can see the lights are changing colors a little bit. The other one, they were more like yellow color. Now they're inching more towards the green. And as that happens, you hear then the door kind of shakes like this, and again very slowly starts pulling out. You can see where that started to calcify around the rock and everything just started falling down around it as it's scraping against this rock. The rock kind of shattering, breaking. And as you're there, you can see that this happened also recently. There's like bits and pieces of rock down at the bottom of the door. And as the doors open,
I'm gonna nudge Paige and say, "You guys have seen this thing before? This kind of doors? This is new to Rocky, but you."
Yeah, sort of something like it. But I think it's interesting that Truffaut seems like he managed to get the door open without the little box.
Or maybe the reason why the door was opened for him wasn't because of his efforts. Maybe something brought him in.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because how else? If the cube came to Hitch, he didn't have it in order to get in.
Right.
Something must have opened it from the inside. Is that what you're saying, Paige?
Maybe. Or maybe someone else had one. Maybe there's more than one.
Maybe there's some tracks here in the dirt. Let's take a look. Bring that torch thing over here and let's see if there's some tracks.
so the door opens and you see a long tunnel, and you can see throughout the tunnel a lot of vines and stuff. Like this had not been used in a long time, like trees from up above and that sort of grown in, but now they've been sort of ripped and moved, as you assume Truffaut sort of moved through them. Allow me to go ahead here and put your little dudes on here.
There we are.
All our glory.
Here I am.
Look at that lovely mug.
Mm.
Oh, you have a matching hat. You are in cosplay.
Yeah. Yeah, I did what I could.
I don't know what's the marching order or anything here, but we'll assume that. There we go. So as you start moving along this tunnel, the ground beneath you changes from the natural sort of rock of the cavern. It gently and slowly gives way to a more manufactured sort of cement kind of flooring. And eventually, as you move towards the end of it, it in fact becomes steel as you're walking on it, as you near the top edge of it. When you get to the end,
Quick
Yeah.
question. When we were back at the more natural part, I think Dave wanted to look around and see if it was
Oh,
there was any
yep.
signs of someone other than Truffaut present with Truffaut, or
Or just to
before
actually
or after Truffaut.
to confirm that there's bear tracks as well, I think would be a good thing. So
yeah,
you
sorry,
guys,
I missed that, Dave.
You guys take a look and see. Some of you guys are good at finding things.
Yeah, scout, huh?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
That would be a what?
Out in wits.
Yeah, 7 dice for me for that.
Awesome.
nice.
Nice.
I think there's enough of us assisting too that you'd be able to get a couple of bonus dice out of it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can get
Christian?
bonus dice. Up to 3 people can assist you.
There you
What
go.
color
nice.
dice are those additional helps? Are they?
So
yellow,
you
green,
roll
or black?
3
Doesn't
extra
matter?
green dice.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm 10 total then.
Not 2
Out of
shades.
all that, I have 2 radiation symbols, so 2 successes out of all of that.
All right, that's pretty
Nice.
good. So you clearly see Pacino's tracks. You see that even though there wasn't a lot of room, he spent a lot of time in front of the door, walking back and forth, moving around, kind of trying different things. So it probably took a while before the door opened. You have no clue how the door opened, but there was no one else with him. And as he moved down deeper into this, you could tell he was before the door. The steps were kind of hesitant, and he was kind of be careful. But once the door opened, you could see he was kind of more determined, and he moved without hesitation. And when you get to the other end of the tunnel, you get to the other door, you'll see that the door was probably open when he got there because there's no sign that he stopped. The door right now is closed, but when he got there, it looks like he didn't stop. Like he just kind of walked through. Like there's, the back half of one of his prints is under the door, kind of thing. So, whatever it was there, it didn't stop him. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what you could get from that. There's not much else. Not because your roll wasn't good, because there's not much else to get right now.
Okay.
Great.
So we're moving down to that metal door at the end.
Mm-hmm. When you get there, this door is somewhat different than the ones you've seen before. It is, for lack of a better word, more high tech. The other ones look like big old, Cold War era, nuclear bunker kind of doors. This one looks all more like metal with a lot of lights and stuff like that around it. There's like little black glass bulbs at the top of it, and there's no sign of age or the rocks kind of haven't taken over. Like it just looks pretty sort of neat. There's not really any dust on the ground, just enough that you were able to see most of it tracked in by Truffaut, basically.
Thanks, Phantom. Appreciate the resub.
Yeah.
Woot, woot.
But the door is definitely closed at this point.
I'll pull out the cube again and hold it up in front of the door. Let's see if this works.
When you do it, it levitates again and sort of floats around, and then it leaves your hand, and floats towards the door. And next to the door, you see there's like a little metal pad that's there, and a little kind of door about the size of the cube opens, and the cube sort of docks there. And then it does some, R2D2 kind of beeping sounds. And then the door rises up and opens, and the little cube goes black. Poop.
Am I able to grab it and pull it back out?
Yeah. When you grab it, you can pull it back out. So you enter this room.
So Rocky's just gobsmacked seeing this kind of stuff. He's never seen this kind of tech, and yeah.
It's wild, ain't it? Look at this thing.
He just kind of holds it up for you to take a look at.
This thing's bizarre, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Whatever kind of
Truffaut
thing
can
stuff.
tell
This
us
must
what
be the
it
right thing to
is
do.
and where it came from. I mean, that's a question, right? The hell is this thing?
So at the center, that thing is not really it's not easy to tell with, the map, but there's a giant sort of cylinder at the center, and there's kind of like a door that's cut into it. And when you look inside, it looks like there was some sort of platform that would rise and fall, but it appears to have fallen from a fairly big height and have kind of crushed itself, so that it's kind of blocking this thing. And when you kind of look up this tube, it's just pure blackness and like metal cables that are kind of swinging back and forth freely. But most of this thing is now blocked by what used to be some sort of platform or chair that would move up and down this particular tube. And around you are a bunch of doors.
Do they look
Rocky's got an
different?
itch to climb up that center thing. He's a climber. And give it a look-see.
Yeah.
Okay, so you climb up there. You climb up, and it's just.
I mean, that's one of my animal powers, so I have never used that before. Do I have to use a feral point to use that? I can climb without any, just total success, right?
I wasn't gonna
buildings,
make you do a test on it. Don't waste your feral
Okay.
points on it right now.
Okay.
You'll climb easy enough. You'll 7 scale will give you the flashlight you put in your mouth, and with the
Yeah.
cables you can climb up. And it's just a really, really, really long tube that goes up. You figure to the top or near the top of the mountain, and when you get to the top of it, you arrive at a point where the cables kind of disappear into the ceiling, and on the one side there's what looks like another door that would have opened when the chair had sort of pulled up to it. But that's all. There aren't like other floors or anything like that.
Okay, I'll come back down. Hope that it takes.
Did you find anything?
There's an exit. There's an exit door at the top. I'm certain it's at the top of the mountain. I didn't look at it closely. I wanted to get. I think time is of the essence, but that's a possible escape route or possible.
Well, maybe for you. Not sure. Pacino
Yeah.
just kind of looks up. I'm not sure
yeah.
Truffaut and I can climb that.
Well, if you fell, you wouldn't fall very far because you'd stay stuck.
Good point.
So this guy says, well, we got to pick one of these doors.
Are they all indistinguishable, one from the other?
Pretty much.
We gotta look at Lloyd since he's the seer.
Lloyd's gonna look back at you and nod his head.
Yeah, I totally know which one it is, fellas. I saw it all.
You can tell he's lying.
I feel pretty good about this one.
He just taps on it like knocking, like ding ding ding.
Dong, 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 dong.
It's got a
What about this one that has
nice sound
stairs
to it.
leading up to it?
Ah,
Not,
So you're going through that one?
I just point that out. This one up here. Is right? Is that stairs kind of leading up to it? Is that
Yeah, but there should be a door there. I'm just stupid.
okay? Sure. I don't know. I'm nervous. I get nervous in these kind of situations.
There are a few steps that go up, but there is in fact a door there. I'm just stupid.
I think Pacino is going to walk over to Lloyd and just like pat him on the shoulder, and then try and look at the door that he was banging on. See if he can see any obvious ways of opening it up.
There is next to the door another little black hole like little, metal plate with like a little black hole like you had on the door outside. So it looks like the cube is probably the way to go.
You want to give this one a shot there?
Let's do it, huh? Everybody, get ready for Freddy. Here we go.
And he's going to take the cube and push it into the receptacle, the receiver.
All right. So as you do it again,
Who's Freddy?
You never met Freddy. Ah, shit. He's great.
so
I swear, I think he makes it up.
it probably does. The door opens. You get a breath of air, sort of, coming through as there are fans that are moving air about. You can make anyone who's feeling interested could make a
Oh, yeah.
scout roll.
I'm super interested.
That's not a Lloyd thing.
If anyone has any sort of powers dealing with smell or anything like that. No? All right. So scout roll will do for me.
It's most definitely not a Pacino thing.
I can get 7 dice just by, doing that. So 1 success if I on that.
All right.
Looking around, I guess, looking down the corridor, peeking around this corner a bit, kind of like giving Lloyd the thumbs up. Not very sure of it, but and looking.
You get a whiff of a few things. One, antiseptic, a very powerful sort of, strong kind of chemical smell of bleach or some sort of antiseptic or something like that. Mixed in the back.
As a surgeon, as a surgeon, would I recognize it from any of my kind of medical background?
Yeah, it's like, cleaning products.
Okay.
You also get faint whiffs of food, and grease, things of that nature. Blood, a little bit. And you hear a kind of gentle whirring, and then and then once in a while a
I don't. So I described. This is what I kind of not huddle, but I'm not speaking loudly. I smell cleaning products, blood. It sounds like there's someone down there. I have this vision of like shaving fur off of stuff, like, and I just don't get a good feeling. I feel some kind of prep laboratory or something where they, prep.
Do you think that they might have done something to Truffaut and are disposing of him?
Jesus.
That could be. I mean, that's unfortunate, but that could be.
Pacino just goes barreling down the corridor.
Lloyd lopes after
roaring.
him. Yep. Lloyd will follow as fast as he can.
Shit, Pacino.
Dude,
Here we go.
Page is sweating bullets because he's like been bringing up the rear and he's just like ready to sprint like out the back the minute things go down bad. He's like, oh no, why did my friends just rush right into danger?
All right, you turn around the corner and you see in front of you a very large cafeteria. It is very, very neat, very well maintained. Everything is spick and span, shining nice. And in the middle of it, making all that noise, is a machine that is busy going around, currently mopping the floor as it goes with a mop. And then once in a while, it hums to itself. And then it moves over to another spot and starts cleaning the floor again. And, kind of like all Wally like, and then it like sees a speck of dirt on the ground and it like a little arm comes out and hits it with a rag and then and then another arm comes out a little and then and it continues.
How large is this machine physically?
It's about the size of like a shop vac or something.
Okay.
Is that a good
hammer,
one,
spiked hammer at the ready, just like stepping into the room and looking around, and then very confusedly stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn back.
I'm 0 for
towards
2 in advice
Rocky.
to you.
turn back towards Rocky and say, I thought you smelled blood.
Dude, I did smell blood. I don't know where it's coming
And
from though.
shaving of animals.
That was
He took some
What?
liberties on that interpretation, I think.
Just hands up, hammer back in its holster, and just like trudging into the room straight towards the robot, who is like the only robot that Pacino has ever seen that doesn't seem threatening.
As you kind of get close to the robot, goes, good day. Today's special is meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
What's
I'm gonna sniff again.
meatloaf?
Where's the blood
And then
coming
it starts rhyming off the ingredients that go in meatloaf. It's served with a side of roasted vegetables, including carrots and Brussels sprouts. It goes on.
That sounds amazing. Pacino's just kind of looking around confusedly.
There's
like,
no smell of
kneels-
anything cooking.
I mean, I could
down
eat.
next-
I could definitely eat something right now.
kneels down next to the robot and says, "Have you seen any other bears today?"
Oh mine! And the little arm comes out, the little one comes out, it starts spraying you, it starts scrubbing you.
Oh, jeez.
Another arm comes back around the other side, starts scrubbing the blood that's on the side of your shirt.
I wouldn't do that.
It'll reach around.
I'm gonna need some help.
Lloyd's looking at the table settings. If there's food on the plates, does it look like it's fresh?
No, everything is super clean.
Okay.
There's, nothing that's really hanging around. Like, this place has just been maintained really, really well. The overhead lights
Rocky's
are buzzing slightly.
Rocky's stumbling around. He's like, I swear I smelled blood and food. And what?
Maybe it's not here. Maybe you really think you should be talking to that thing right now? I don't know if there's.
Pacino, you're getting it's got like a little rag out, and it's giving you like a nice like shoe shine on your foot.
There's a
Just
door right here.
sit there and stare down at it as it's doing this, and then look back around at like everybody else with this confused of expression, like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Mhm.
He's just completely concerned. He's just waiting for the next shoe to drop. Like, you sure that's not necessarily like a facade? It is a machine.
Yeah.
It is-
Access to the room.
Lloyd's gonna look at this door.
After
Oh,
I'll
it's a
get
door.
to you in a second. After a moment, the little robot says, "I'm sorry, you are beyond help." The little arms kind of, and it sets off and it goes in the corner and starts washing the floor again.
Apparently, it doesn't understand much.
You could use a little sprucing up, sugar. Just saying. Your outfit has seen better days. What you got there, Lloyd? So you're checking out that door. When you approach it, Lloyd, same thing. Little pad with the little thing. You can pop the thingamabobber in it.
Mm-hmm. Will do.
All right. A second, as I will move the map. It's kind of big.
It is a big map.
Right. And down the hall, walking back towards you,
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well,
you see, I'm gonna have to
Exactly.
move it so you can see it.
Duck and cover, boys.
Moving back.
uh,
Just stop. I just want to move him. I'm gonna move him over here for a moment just so that I can expand him and show you.
mm-hmm.
So moving back towards you is this weird sort of robot. Its head is kind of like a screen or a TV or something, and it's got like this kind of weird cartoon face on it, and it's kind of very, sort of even at first, and then it sees you, and then it goes kind of a questioning face, and then suddenly the screen around it turns red, and it goes, escaped animals, and then it brings up the Kalashnikov that it's got in its hands. and is going to start spraying.
Duck, boys!
Do we roll
Initiative.
initiative or does it
Yeah.
just go?
No, initiative.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
I think you would have
fast
gone that far down.
reflexes.
I'm going to give you a freebie Pacino and say you're still out there in case you lose the initiative so you don't get hosed. Like this would have happened as soon as he opened the door, kind of thing.
Okay.
During that time of them like messing with the door, like Paige has been like examining the little cleaner bot in the room, and he's just like unfolded the gun and just kind of hefting it towards it, waiting for this thing to suddenly go berserk.
It's doing a hell of a job on the floors. All right, please go ahead and give me your initiative on your character there.
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Do my eyes deceive me?
You actually going on a high number for once?
But Rocky's got y'all beat. So
Nice.
Rocky,
Yeah, I got a 6.
what would you do, Rocky, if you were?
And I'm trying. Okay, it's way down there. I see this thing coming.
Yeah, moving down there is going to take a maneuver.
Okay. I can't. I have no kind of ranged weapon, so I am going to get in position and seek cover right here. Gosh, I want to help Pacino too, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
It's pretty clear. There are a couple of corridors down there, so you could conceivably, if you wanted, run down here and kind of a corner. But who knows what's behind that corner also? So it's just up to you to decide.
No, I'm not going to go yet. I'm just going to seek cover right here, and yeah, I guess that's it. 2 maneuvers. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right. So at 4, then I got a bunch of people. We got Savitskaya, we got Paige, and we have Chino.
Is this 2 zones away or just 1?
Just 1 zone. It'll take you 1 maneuver to get out there.
Hide and draw it out. Hide and draw it down here. That's what I'm yelling out.
No, that's not what Pacino does.
I know, but I'm still yelling that out. Okay.
Yeah. Pacino is just going to run down the hallway, axe in hand, and try to attack this thing.
So as you run down the corridor, you see there's no one else hiding there waiting to do you terrible wrong. So go ahead. 1 maneuver, you can take an action when you get out there.
Yep. And that and that. That is only 1 success and a crap ton of 2s and 3s, so I'm gonna push.
Go ahead.
That is 5 successes.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yes.
No ones, no
I got a 1, but it was on a green die.
Okay.
Freaking RKO out of nowhere.
5 successes.
Fair KO.
Fair KO.
Let me
RKO out of nowhere.
let me roll my my armor. You think your thing is gives a -1 armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? I'm rolling armor.
This guy doesn't stand a chance.
All right, I got 2 successes on my armor roll. That leaves you with
Okay. That leaves me with 3. So my base damage is 3. So that is for 1 of my successes. And so for fight, then I'm going to knock the weapon from its hand.
Okay.
And that also decreases its initiative by 1.
Okay. Well, he's got 1, so you can't go much lower. All right. So you hit the Kalashnikov. It fires off as it goes flying up in the air and flies back behind him.
Yeah. And then I'm going to hold him in a grapple. So I do 3 damage to him base. And then I'm going to hold him in a grapple with my other, like, just pin him to the ground, basically.
All right, you grab him and you kind of wrestle him down into the ground, putting your weight on top of him. The Kalashnikov's out there. No problem. At Savitskaya has been pulling on her bow. She goes, "Damn it, I don't have a shot now."
I'm just gonna yell, "I've got him pinned! Get
Page.
down here!"
Page at 4.
Okay. My thoughts of Paige is he's not one of those kind of things that does really well getting up close, but he's, you know, not thinking, just takes Pacino's directive, and he just like starts hurtling down the hallway, and then like
Hurtling down the hallway.
yeah,
Turtling.
turtling down the hallway at high speed, and then like comes to like a screeching stop, like kind of like you know, if he had tires, you would hear the squeal, and then you know, with the two hallways adjacent that go run perpendicular, and that's literally where he stops, thinking, I didn't realize that there was like other potential like sources, and that's where he stops, looking up and down with the gun. And it was, and because of that fear of like something else running up and down these hallways, because that could be more than just that, he's gonna stop there.
You do anything else with your action?
I look to see whether or not I have a chance, like an actual shot with the gun, since I already have
that
it
your
unfurled.
gun doesn't at all affect Pacino because you kind of shot through him before. So,
Well, I shot near him, but it was never like clear that I could shoot through him. That was something that like that definitely makes.
well, you never saw it
Paige
do
very
any
concerned.
physical damage to anything.
Yeah, so I just see. I don't know. That Paige is gonna do his absolute best to try and aim at something that is sticking out, even if it's just a foot, because
Okay.
he does not want to risk something actually happening. I don't know,
No problem.
but
So you can make your roll, and I'll say that because Pacino is holding it pinned down and it can't move or do anything, you'll get 2 extra dice to make your attack.
oh
As it's
sweet
an
baby
easy
G.
shot, since you're.
Yes.
But since you're in the same zone, since you're in the same zone as him, that will just cancel the penalty for using a ranged weapon within melee range. So you're at your normal dice roll.
Okay, so 2 agility, 2 shoot, and 2 because it's now down to 2, not 1, not 3 because I slightly damaged it. No successes. Could just push the roll. I'll push the roll.
Okay.
I got 1 success.
All right, no ones.
No ones. The only success was literally on the gear die.
All right. All right, so you fire. So go ahead, give me some damage.
So that's what, a total of. Well, the gun does what? 3 damage.
So then that's 3 damage. It doesn't have armor, so it bypasses all that. So you shoot the gun. Again, same thing. It kind of shakes in your hands, and it goes like, whoop. And then underneath you can see like the thing start kind of sparking. The screen kind of goes crazy, starts showing all sorts of weirdness. It's still kind of trying to fight you off and whatnot, so it's still alive, but there's definitely a lot of smoke sort of coming out of it. At 1, it will be Lloyd and then the machine.
All right. Well, watching his companions run down the hall, Lloyd is going to bound after them, jumping as fast as he can as he's watching Paige kind of take cover. He's going to just leap across here. And can I get up to the machine? No problem.
You can get in and take an action.
All right, I'm gonna
get into zone.
Yep, and then I'm going to start pummeling
Go for it.
with my brass knucks.
All right.
So when you described the fritzing out on the screen, you were describing the screen on the machine, not the screen on Paige's gun.
That's right.
That's what I was thinking too. And I was like, holy shit,
cool.
what's happened to the gun?
I was worried there for a second. I was like, oh
No,
shit,
no,
are we
that's
supposed to kill this
the
thing?
All right, here we go. I'm rolling 8 dice.
Yeah, you can add since you can add 1 for Pacino, quote unquote, helping you since he's holding this thing down.
Okay. That still results in 3 successes.
Nice. He's got 1 on his armor, so that lowers your damage down to 2.
So I think with these knuckles, I do 2 damage.
All right.
And then for my stunt, I'll add one more point of damage.
All right, that's good. As you sort of reach in and punch it right under its neck where the screen is, that screen pops off, and most of the head kind of rips off, and wires and whatnot just spilling out, and there's weird blinking lights inside, and you hear a little voice that goes, "Oh no!"
Lights out, machine.
The machine shakes, and then stops moving.
Pacino will just stand up and fling the machine back down the hallway towards he'll stand up and start dragging the machine in one hand, and then look over at Lloyd and say, "Pick up its," and sneer as he says it, "gun."
Yeah,
as he drags the machine back to the cafeteria. I want to see what the reaction is from the cleaning bot as he throws the carcass of the AK machine into the cafeteria.
The bug goes, comes over quickly, little arms come out, start cleaning him. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, and just like starts trying to shine him down. Moon degrees. This won't do. This won't do. Gets busy trying to clean my floor. You're spilling on my floor. His oil is spreading down the floor, and he's trying to. You see that robot thing that keeps picking up its oil, right? That the work of art thing. It's kind of like that, where on one hand it's just kind of trying to keep all the oil come from spilling out, with the other hand it's trying to clean them up. It doesn't seem like it's giving any sort of alarm or anything like that. Someone get the AK?
Yeah. Hey, Rocky, you know how to use this thing?
You can tell Lloyd has no idea. He's not holding it right. It looks very unnatural. He's just kind of like,
"Here, take this. I don't want it."
I'll take it, but I don't. I look at Pacino. I don't think this is Pacino's style. Paige has got that mega thing, so I'll hold on to this, sling it over my shoulder, or let me examine it. And can I use this? Do I know how it functions?
No. Do you have comprehend? Do you have shoot? Do you have a shoot skill?
I do not have a shoot skill. No.
Give me a comprehend. What
I have no comprehend.
What's happening while he's doing? All you can do.
You want me to? Yeah, go ahead. If you need help figuring it out
or whatever. You've
Paige
seen,
knows
roll
his way
wits.
around it.
Okay.
it is and whatnot, so you kind of have an idea.
Okay, I'll use just roll. Make a wits roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
thank you to Jerboa Tamer 77 for the advantage. Appreciate that.
Nice. All right, so
2 successes on those 5 dice.
yeah, you get the feeling you know how to operate it. It's probably a bit more dangerous to your friends than Paige's gun, but you've seen people use it before. So it gives you a +2 gear to shoot, and 2 damage, and 20 shots.
Okay.
Nice.
Thanks.
Oh, kitty cat.
Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break here. Maybe you guys want to take a break, or you want to sort of pull on? All right,
Sure.
Let's take a 5-minute break here while you're here, and then when you come back, we'll see where else you go into this thing. Oh, Putty Cat! I thought Putty Cat. I did thought Putty Cat. So thank you very much, everyone, for sticking with us. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break to empty and refill, and we'll be back momentarily with more of this weird lab action. Weird lab action.
See you in a sec.
We're back. We're back. We're back. Thank you very much for sticking out with us, everyone who did. We are currently in the middle of a lab crawl, I guess you would call it, as our friends have gone inside a old abandoned lab and are currently making their way through it, having just escaped the very vicious cleaning robot of the cafeteria, and then done away with his less dangerous cousin, the AK wielding hall guard.
Hey, that cleaning robot did things to my shoes that have never been done. Okay.
Yeah, that cleaning robot certainly, went to town on
All
him.
those shoes.
Bear paws. All right. So as you're like sort of watching the cleaning robot give a good cleaning to the destroyed robot and try to keep his floor clean, Savitskaya says, I don't like this place. I think we really need to get moving, find who we need to find, and get the hell out of here. We got to find Truthful and get the hell out of here, because something's going to have heard this thing's gun going off, and I really don't feel secure in here. So let's hustle.
Agreed.
Right.
I think Pacino just starts moving down the hallway, but keeps looking back to Lloyd for direction on like which way to go as we hit like intersections and things like that. So like Pacino will take point, but he's leaning on the others to give him a direction to move.
All right. Lloyd is going to move all the way down. It seems like this door was being guarded for a reason.
This is the way to go, fellas. Let's check this door quick.
All right. So you open this door and find yourself in a giant cavernous room that basically looks like a giant assembly line where a whole bunch of robotic arms are very busy making what you recognize as other machines. So some of the types of machines you've seen already outside, some of the Guardian ones, some of the drones, things like that. These sort of robotic hands that are hanging out here. They look like this. They're on these rails, so they can move everywhere throughout this room. They're moving, flying by. You kind of have to duck as one of them goes by to get a part somewhere, and sort of comes flying back. I mean, it's Tesla hell right here. There are a couple of other ones that look like this, like sort of gigantic octopi who are moving through and are kind of testing things and noting how the work is coming along. And then once in a while you see one of these like slap one of the other robot arms and kind of point at something, and the other robot arm goes and kind of makes it better. None of them seem to be really worried about you guys as you walk into here, but you can clearly see that this is a pretty big operation, and this is where a lot of the robots and machines that have been making your life hell are being made.
But we don't see any fully constructed and operational versions of the machines that we deal with outside.
No,
correct?
right now it looks like all of these are just sort of being assembled
Right.
as you go.
Okay.
Any evidence that a bear had previously been here before us?
Nope.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
thanks,
fairly safe
thanks
to say that-
Monty Hall for the raid. We appreciate you guys. Sorry to interrupt you, Miko, but thanks for the raid,
No
Monty
worries.
Hall.
Sweet. Raids. I think all of you can very easily notice that Pacino is very much on edge, and like is like white knuckling his hammer and just really wants to start rampaging through this space. But he is looking to Paige and Lloyd a little bit, I think, to keep things kind of in check and directional.
All right. The noise in here is pretty deafening. There's lights everywhere. There's, the noise machinery. There's a huge humming sort of power supply in the corners, electricity everywhere. On top of being, the machines and all of that, it's just really off-putting because it's so different than anything you've encountered, right? You live out in the woods, right? And all that. And this is all like, top-notch, high-tech, equipment, and it's just really kind of off-putting and alien to you all, really, as you're seeing these robot kind of move on their own and not notice you, like, so they're clearly not alive. So it's very, very sort of alien to you, and it kind of makes you feel a little, sort of uncertain and a little, it's very off-putting. Let's just put it that way.
I think we took a wrong turn here, fellas.
You hear a meep meep as another one of these cleaning robots comes out of this door here, comes over here, takes a look at you. Pacino scans you and goes, nope, and then kind of moves away and goes over there to clean some other
been dealt with.
some other mess that's drawing its attention.
Lloyd, get me out of this room.
All right.
Where do I go?
We're going over this way.
He's gonna go down to where that robot came from.
All right, and then you get there just as before the door closes. You can kind of open it. When you look inside, you see a beholder and 2 mind flayers. I'm kidding. You see,
Sweet.
basically,
All right.
this room. There's just a lot of a lot of lights going. There's a lot
worse. It's worse.
It's very clearly, a power generator area. You can feel the vibrations in the ground in here, and it's just pumping out energy like you've never seen before.
This is terrible. Let's go this way.
He's gonna walk up and he's just gonna be like, "Follow me. Let's go this way." He's gonna run.
Running behind Lloyd.
Just ducking past machines.
I'll be bringing up the shell over here.
You avoid those machines as you go through. As you get up there, there's no door here to this room. When you enter it, you find a room that reminds you very much of, in some ways, the room that you saw in the other lab, right, with the skipping rate and all that. There's a bit of a desk, but there's also sort of a living arrangement going on in this room. As you walk into it, you can see there's a bit of a mess on the desk, bunch of papers, bunch of other things kind of lying around. This place, like everything else in this room, looks very neat, very spick and span. The robots have been doing a good job cleaning it, and there are sort of at the top part, there's like sort of a living arrangement kind of thing. I would like you guys, as you kind of come into this room, go ahead and make me.
Lloyd's just
Sanity
like,
check.
I don't see any sign of Truffaut in here. I see nothing.
I would like
Bears
a
room.
comprehend. I would like someone to throw a comprehend roll as you see something, and I just want to see if.
Sure.
Why not?
that's a wits
squeaky
roll.
voice.
That's a 1 and a 2.
That's not very good.
No.
I got a
That's-
4 and a 3.
What you get when Pacino starts trying to comprehend things.
So I'm just,
I got
just
one
rolling a
success.
wits. I'm just rolling.
That's not
Can
my
I throw wits?
specialty. Yeah.
On just a wits attribute roll, I got a success and a biohazard sign.
All right, so success is fine. And did you get a success, Travis?
Yes.
All right. So as you're sort of going through here, obviously Pacino's not here. You're kind of flipping through things, seeing things. One, on the blackboard behind the desk, in big letters, is a word that is written with a question mark next to it. And that word, with your comprehend, you can make out the word, which is Chronos, CHRONOS. ONOS. And on the desk, you find two things of possible interest to you. The first one is a picture that looks kind of old. I will put it up in our chat there momentarily. Of a man with a young girl. The man looks human, but has some sort of metallic arm replacing his regular arm. And next to him is a young girl that's got a teddy bear on her lap. And when you turn the picture over on the back, it says, hold on, I'm just gonna find where this room is. You see on the back it says, "Can't wait to see you this summer, Auntie," and then it's signed with a B. On the desk next to it, of interest, you find a lighter. If anyone wants to grab it, it's an artifact that you can use. There's a kind of a Zippo lighter.
Oh yeah.
I think Pacino is just standing at the
That's
door,
kinda what I would
looking
think.
back at the robots, just axe at the ready, waiting on one of them to come within his reach, because he's at the point now that he will just happily crush one if it comes within his reach.
I think we
And
gotta move,
over-
fellas. I don't think
over
we're
on
gonna
one of
find
the
a
other-
friend.
Sorry, over on one of the other desks also there's a chess set if someone felt like grabbing that, but there's a nice little chess set with carved hand pieces. If anyone wants to grab that, grab it, and it might be useful down the line on some other day if we play this game. All right, so you find that stuff, and I'll show you the picture later. You head back down.
Yeah, we got to backtrack
There was
a
no
bit.
There was no exits out of this room,
You just saw the only exit.
out of the office. I mean,
No.
okay. As we're like navigating through this space, I feel like Pacino's just like growling, and as he like gets close to the cleaning robot, out of frustration, he just like kicks it.
It goes flying across the room, and as it flies off, you hear it go, "Oh, this won't do," and then it goes crashing in the back behind some of these shelf back there, and all you hear from back there is, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get out. Help, I've fallen and I can't get out. Help, I've fallen and I..."
I'm running behind Lloyd with Lloyd there. It's
All right, you head down that
on
corridor.
edge.
Which way do we go? Which way do we go, Rocky?
Let's go back to the entranceway and take one of the and see if my smell will or something will lead us to Truffaut.
So as you're running down that hallway, as you
Yeah,
pass
here.
the door here,
Because it worked so well last time.
yeah, your smell
Yeah, I
kicks
know.
in again, and you do get that whiff of blood that you had earlier.
Okay, I looking at Pacino, I'm like, this is where it's coming from. That's why. This is the blood.
Do I
don't know if it's
see
bear
any
blood or
blood?
not. I don't know if it's bear blood or not, but this is the blood. I am 84% certain.
That's good enough for me.
I don't know what that means.
Pulls
Do
out
I
the
see
cube.
any blood?
That
You don't
means
see any
kick the door
blood.
down, big guy.
You open the door.
Yeah, I use the cube to open the door.
All right, use the cube to open the door. As you open the door, you are greeted by the absolute horrible sight
Oh
that
shit.
is some sort of laboratory. The blood that you're smelling is coming from an animal over here who appears to be dead and has been bleeding, as one of these arms is busy sort of working on him. And as you sort of look into it, this other robot comes in and opens the grate below, and this arm kind of just rolls the animal down into it, and
Ugh.
they close the grate. At the other end, there's another arm, and you can see the arm is wrestling with a raccoon that you recognize from the house that you saw earlier, as it's trying to get it down, as the raccoon is kind of fighting against its restraints and kind of trying to stop it, and the little thing's got a little saw, and it looks like it's about to sort of cut into his head. And in the rest of the room, you see a couple other cages with some blood here at the bottom that have certainly been used before, and there are surgical tools that were not here on this table. What do you do?
Time to break some
Run in.
shit.
Do you mind if I narrate for a moment?
Oh, please go right ahead.
Pacino just goes full feral. You guys see his eyes just gloss red. He doesn't even use the hammer at this point. That's how wild. He just tears into the room, grabs one of the machines, rips its arms from it, flings the carcass at the other machine wrestling with the raccoon, and just like moving through the space, grabbing onto things that are not attached to anything that is living or has flesh, just tearing them up from the ground and flinging them at that machine as he makes it over to the other side of the room with it still like recoiling from those attacks, and just slams it so hard against the wall it embeds it completely into the wall.
You guys are awed at this display of fury and just pure bear madness as he rampages through this and just rips the entire place apart like you've rarely seen outside of like a huge storm, you know, like this much devastating power. And it happens in like the blink of an eye. I'm going to give you 2 feral points for that, Miko, for this this raging action that you just put in. And as he's in there just sort of breathing hard and kind of trying to calm down, what do you guys do?
I'm gonna rush in. I now know the MO of how this works, so I'm behind, running in with my, not my AK, but my staff, and gonna try to help smash that machine at the far side to bits if it needs any more smashing.
Pretty well smashed. You can get a couple of good licks in. Pacino looks like he might be looking for another something else to bite into. Anybody else want to do something?
Lloyd is actually gonna move sort of back
away
up.
from him.
Yeah, he thinks that he doesn't want to see what's going on in there, and so he's gonna kind of move up this way and take a look at this door up to the north while that's all happening.
Splitting the party, Lloyd.
He's just scoping it out. He's not opening the door yet, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to see what's going on in there.
So like just from like the very beginning, like Paige was able to recognize just like how intimidating and like imposing that was from like just the first second that the switch flipped in Pacino, and it was just like the immediate natural reaction Paige has was like to almost completely retreat into his shell for a second, and by the time he came back out, he saw Lloyd had like zipped past him, and his immediate thought was, okay, like what happened? And I'm gonna go in and see what exactly got him so tripped up.
So as you see, you notice the whole scene that's in front of you. Over there, the raccoon is on the table going, help me.
Do you want to do anything with that, Travis?
Does anyone want to do anything with this?
I'm giving it to Travis first. If he doesn't, I'll step up.
Like seeing like you get a sense of like just how very like unnatural this whole room is, and then like the raccoon like pretty much just what's going on with it. I'm like, my words are definitely getting all jumbled up in my head, so I want to help him.
I need your help. I'm going over here too, and I heal like you, and dude, just get over here. This guy, more than I can handle.
Okay. So as you get over there, he's reaching out, and you can see he's pretty banged up. They'd already been kind of working on him for a while, and you can see that part of his hand has been replaced by a mechanical hand, and he raises his other paw. He's like, my family the corridor, and he points back up towards sort of the north of this map. He's like, please help my family, please.
It's
At
gotta
that
be safe.
response, Pacino just flees the room in the direction that he indicated.
Pacino runs out. As he runs out, and as you guys sort of realize there's not much you can do to help this poor raccoon here, you know, as he basically just sort of passes away in front of you, you know, you try to kind of give him a little bit of dignity and kind of put him back. And as you're about to leave, Travis, your eye catches on something. There is on the side of the machine, on the side of one of the machines, you see a list. And I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it says like the lights leaving the raccoon's eyes. And Paige is just like distraught with the like this is the fate that they get. You know, every person that's ever been from all knows this is where the people are being sent for sacrifice go to.
But as you're sort of seeing on the wall, you see a list of names, and it's, you know, Salieri 7, Taylor 4, so on and so forth. And next to them, there's like a little check mark, and there's sort of two lists there. And one of the lists is like, you know, transplant, experiment, and there's a list of numbers. And then the other one is for transplant and re-release into Paradise Valley. And one of the names on that list, as you scan down it, is one that you recognize that catches your attention right away. And it's, you know what name it is.
It's Plant.
It's Plant.
I
For catch and release.
catch and release, yeah. What
you're
that
noticing as you're
mean?
kind of moving out of here is that a lot of the equipment in this room, all the cybernetic equipment they have, is like cameras, recording devices, things of that nature. So what's kind of coming to your mind is that they're basically creating spies. Some of the people they're returning have various cybernetic replacements that turn them into spies for the machines, and that's basically the list that you're seeing there is animals that have been fitted out to be spies and re-released back into the population.
Rocky sees that, you know, what that Paige is doing here, and kind of stunned, looking at this list, and said, "What? I mean, it's a list. Yeah, these lists. This is happening now. We need to. This is why we're here, to stop this." So Rocky's kind of confused and trying to, you know.
And like it just you like you could tell like he's just like oh my god. That's why it, you know, like just I don't know what to think at this point. Me asking GM this is the space.
No, there's you can, so you're kind of Rocky, you see that he's totally kind of losing it. He's you know, kind of shutting down, right? He's seen something that, you know, you can't stay here, so you grab him by the arm and you kind of
This is a list, like not a physical. It's not a physical list. It's a readout.
Yeah, it's kind of like a digital readout. That's
so I can't grab it. Okay.
No. But you grab him by the arm and you kind of pull him along, and you can see that he's shell shock. He's basically like kind of shell shock. And you pull him back out into the corridor. And as you're running up, so this guy is there, you know, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And she helps you, and she grabs him and pulls him up. Meanwhile, up there, up at the top of the game, of the map, Lloyd and Pacino, you've moved up, and when you get up here, there's no door, and when you get inside of this area, you notice that there's in the middle here a sort of statue, and on the statue that you're seeing, that's kind of lit with little spotlights underneath it, is a design of sort of like an eagle, and it's the one that we've seen often on the corner of the map from the Paradise Valley. I will hold on. I will put it here if I can. Nope. Again, I'll share it with you in a little bit, but it's that symbol from the Paradise Valley of the eagle with a sort of head that's in that statue. And the door up here, I'm just going to sort of move us along here a little bit. The door up here in this room, when you check it, leads to a sort of viewing area where there are couches and basically screens that show the room that you've just been into, and the screens are functioning. And as you go in there, you see Paige, who's looking at something on the wall, and is kind of like obviously being affected by something. You see this, Lloyd, and then you see Rocky kind of try to snap him out of it a little bit, and Paige is just kind of really shell-shocked. And then Rocky hauls him out of that room and pulls him out, and they're sort of coming back up the corridor.
I think Pacino just is not lingering on details. He is just tearing through whatever space in search of the raccoon family. He will ask Lloyd to like open a door for him. Like he's just going to the first door he sees and is trying to get it open. And if Lloyd doesn't move fast enough, he like uses the sledge and like, you know, cranks into the seam and tears it open.
All right, so here's what's going to happen using my powers of God. You, Pacino, and Savitsky are going to be sort of rushing up into this corridor up here, and we'll deal with that in a second. Lloyd, you come out of the room and you see Rocky's bringing a very distraught-looking Paige with him into this room here.
Okay.
What happened, fellas? Paige.
There's some list and of animals, and Paige lost it. I don't know. Really, I don't know.
It's so bad.
We gotta get out of here. It was wrong to come here. Maybe I thought this is where we were supposed to be.
You kind of feel like Paige really needs your support right now, Lloyd. Like he really would need you to just sort of be there for him.
Hey, I got this, Rocky. I got this. Hey, come here, big. Come on, buddy.
You move up, Rocky, with the other guys?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
All right.
I moved aside, but I will.
What is it? Tell me what you saw.
The list. I wouldn't have ever expected that name on that list.
What name?
Oh.
Who was it?
Plant. Makes so much sense now. Some of the animals that they captured, they die. Some of the animals that they capture, they fix them up and they set them free. Spy on us. To influence us from the inside.
And this plant was from your tribe, a friend of yours?
Plant was my friend. And I'm the reason why Plant's dead.
As he says that, you see, Lloyd, in your mind, the flames that you saw in your vision.
Yeah.
The lantern, the flames, that was your friend.
Yeah.
Look, Paige, you can't blame yourself for what happened. Somebody sent him back for some reason.
You don't understand, Lloyd.
I don't.
You don't have the whole story.
Help me understand. What can I do to help you?
Plant and I, long ago, it was his idea, and I always carry this with me for the rest of my life. That we've done some terrible things for our tribe, thinking it was for the best. some of the people that got sent away, they get chosen. Why? Because they were the sickest. And they were the sickest because we made them sick.
And your friend, this plant, they talked you into this.
We both, I thought we were both thinking for the best.
Look,
I thought we were the same mind, and I didn't think I was
Hey, look
I
at
was
me.
scared. I didn't want to be sacrificed.
Paige, look at me. That wasn't your friend when it came back from here. It wasn't who you thought it was anymore. Hey. You were manipulated like the rest of us. We've all been made to do terrible things, but you can't blame yourself for this. We got a chance here to make it right. We can make this right. We can make this right. Come on, hey. Come on, look at me, man. Look at me. Hey, we can make this right.
What we do right now. I think that's what's been keeping me going forward. Is just the next person who needs it. I at least would feel like I've redeemed myself.
That's right. This is our chance. We can do this. We can do something good. No matter what we did in the past, we can do something different. We can do something good. I believe in you, man. You've done good things for me, for Pacino, for the others. You're good. Come on. Come on, let's we gotta figure this out together, and then we'll deal with all the shit. We got a lot of unpacking to do, my friend. It just so happens I got a couple extra tabs of LSD left. We'll deal with it later. But for now, let's keep going, man. You with me?
With you, Lloyd.
All right, come on.
I'll kind of put my arm around him and urge him forward.
All right. As this drama is unfolding behind you, Pacino and Savitskaya and Rocky, you arrive in a room that you immediately realize is a bunch of cells, as the doors have bars in them. A number of them are occupied. Some even have the remnants, of former occupants with blood either on the beds or on the floor, things of that nature. There are chains in all of them. As you arrive in the area, you find around one of the corners, there's like a sort of big plaque with a bunch of numbers, and there's like a red and a green button below each of them. And you can kind of sort of figure out that, punching the green button will open the doors and sort of release them. And as you're doing that, you find the raccoon family come out, the mother and one of the children. There's also an ape that was being held down there, and a lady dog that you rescue also. And when you come out, they're all sort of really like, help us. And then when you start, releasing them, they come out and they're like crying, and all of them have like, show signs of wounds or, having been mistreated and all that. And when you come out, they're very kind of traumatized and sort of very afraid. One of the rooms doesn't open when you press the green button, and then you can see that it's been disabled on the side. And when you look inside, there's another raccoon in that room, but he looks really kind of strange, as he's got part of his head has been replaced by a metal plate that you can see. Part of his one hand has been replaced by like a metal claw. He's got other little sort of cybernetic things, and as you come to sort of close to the door to try and free him, he just jumps at the door, and he's like foaming at the mouth, and he's trying to reach through the thing to kind of grab you, and the other's like, no, don't go near him, don't go near him, even the guards don't go near that one. And he's just like raging and kind of forming, and he's banging and banging his head against this wall, and it's just like you can clearly see that he's gone completely mad as all these parts of machines on him are kind of blinking and buzzing, and he's just completely sort of lost it, gone like ultra feral, like you've never seen. What you saw Pacino earlier do was controlled. It was rage, but it was, sort of, he had it under control. This is just completely sort of gone berserk kind of thing.
If you would permit me, I think Pacino is going at when all of them are like being all scared and we're letting them out and whatnot, he's maintaining a lot of that kind of domineering presence about him, trying to keep people as calm as possible. And then as this thing is just raging against it, he will change to just pure sympathy to what's happening in there. And like, you guys have seen Pacino get soft, but this is different from all of that. This is one of those moments that you feel like Pacino probably that this resonates more with him than anything that you've experienced with him before that. And he's going to grab, as it's like reaching an arm through the cage, he's going to reach out and grab onto it, and with his other hand reach into the pocket and take that LSD that Lloyd had tried giving him previously, and just like shove it into the mouth of this rabid animal.
As you do that,
that should totally help.
As you do that,
I want to see what the effect is.
Well, he tries to bite your hand, and in fact, actually, this is kind of interesting. He's going to try and bite your hand. So you can go ahead and roll a dodge if you want, since I'm assuming you're going to try to pull out. So you can go ahead and roll your fight and your strength, and he will do the same, trying to get a nice little bite out of you.
3 successes and 1 toxic symbol.
All right, so I got 2 successes. So as you force feed him this thing, he tries to bite down to your finger. You pull your finger out just in time. You can feel his teeth kind of scrape around your hand, but you manage to pull out just in time. He takes, and like he's obviously kind of swallowed it, and he's still kind of raging. And then you can see his eyes sort of just kind of dilate for a little bit, and then his movement kind of slows down a little bit, and then he kind of looks at you kind of weirdly, and then he's just kind of looking around, and he falls down on his butt, and he's just kind of like trying to grab things that appear to, and then he starts to giggle as he's reaching out for things, and he scratches himself a little bit, and then go ahead.
As he does that, Pacino reaches in and snaps his neck.
You grab him, you reach through the gate, you pull him towards you, and just as you can see this kind of like little smile at something he's seeing that's obviously kind of bringing him joy, you snap that neck, and you can see the light just go out in his eyes, and you drop him down slowly onto the ground. And as he's laying there, you can see he's got kind of at least a little bit of a I'm at peace kind of a look on his face.
The rest of you can't really see Pacino's face, but you can tell from just behind that his shoulders are slumped. And as he's like pulling away and just standing up, just lets out this big, heavy sighing growl.
The ape or monkey that you rescued will sidle up to you, Lloyd, since not Lloyd, but Ethan, since you're also okay, thanks for the help, pal. What the hell are you guys? How'd you get in here?
Well, we're here to rescue you. I'm just gonna say, we're the resistance. It's time to act. Come with us.
You must be looking for that bear then. He's talking nonsense
Exactly.
about the resistance too.
Where is he? He's important to all of us. getting out of here to living?
I haven't seen him in a couple days.
Was
They
he in a
brought
cell
him in
here?
here a few nights ago. They put him in a cell. A couple hours later, they came back to get him, and I haven't seen him since.
When was that?
Who knows,
Day,
man? A
2?
couple days ago, time in here is just like
Mm.
one long elastic that wraps around your neck and suffocates you, really.
I'm gonna tell us that to the Truffaut. You know, kind of if they didn't hear, I'm gonna say out. Truffaut's been in here as a prisoner. They've taken him away some time ago. My fellow prosimian here. What's your name?
Phil.
Phil. Phil or Bill?
Phil.
Phil. Got it. Phil. Phil's told me that Truffaut is here. We need to move.
So this
He's not
guy
going
says,
anymore.
we got to just get out of here at this point. We can't go traipsing through this place with these people. They're all sick and wounded and afraid, or we can't risk them getting hurt. We just gotta find a way out and get out of here, and we'll come back if needs be. But we can't just go around with these people, or we can't leave them in here. So let's get these people out to safety, and then we'll come back for Truffaut if needs be.
Who says that?
Savitskaya.
Savvy.
Oh, Savvy.
Savitskaya. Sorry, should have said it with my southern accent, but I'm forgetting myself. We ought to get on out of here. These people
Sweetheart.
can't take all this pain. Rocky, would you be a fine fella and go on ahead and try and see if you find some sort of escape hatch or something? There must be something. There's no way to build a place like this and not have a way out on short notice in case something went wrong.
I will, but I'm unhappy about it. I'm just gonna shake my head. I think so.
Well, sometimes you got to do the good that you can do and hope that you can do the good you want to do at a later date.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a scouting roll. Would you?
Okay.
Can I assist
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
with that?
You can assist him with that? Absolutely.
And I just have a quick
Sorry.
question. Is there any reason that we can't just backtrack the path that we've already taken? Did the doors close behind us and lock or something?
No, but just because
Okay.
normally you would go through the entire thing and there'd be something else that would get you where you're supposed to go. But since we're running out of time and we're not going to do the other half of this place, you're going to leave from here.
What die is
Okay.
help die? Is it a black die, green die, yellow die?
Green die.
Green die.
Green die. One help from Lloyd.
Yeah.
Looking around with me, pointing things out
Yep.
to me. Okay, here we go. 1 success. No, 2 successes.
Perfect. So when you go back out
Oh,
into
6
that
die.
middle room where the eagle, as you're kind of walking past it, you kind of stop and you notice something and you go back and you check around and the base of where the statue is appears like maybe it moves. And when you sort of futz around with it and then you look up and you see what looks like a hatch up on the ceiling, and then you futz around with the statue and then you realize that when you kind of spin it a certain way, it moves out of the way and the hatch opens and a ladder comes down from the ceiling.
Lloyd, give me a hand here. I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna ask Lloyd for a bit of grunt and spin the
Yeah.
statue a bit.
Yeah, let's
Your
do
push
it.
hasn't been moved in a long while. As you kind of move it, and just as you kind of move it, the ladder sort of finishes coming down. And it's like, it doesn't come all the way down, but like easy enough to kind of hold on to and sort of climb up.
I'm gonna yell back down the corridor. Well, yell, talk back down the corridor and say, we found it. Come on. This is what must be. This is what must be. Get these people out of here.
So as you're running out and sort of lining up to get out, Savitskaya will stop by you shortly there, Paige, and go, "You right there, sugar?"
It's so he looks over at Siskaya and like maybe the others didn't quite notice this. Like they're used to him seeming scared and hurt. But this time around he looks hurt, but he looks mad at the same time. And he looks up at her and says, I don't want to leave Truffaut alone. I don't want to leave Truffaut behind. If anything, I'll go and do it. I have this.
We'll be back for him. We'll be back for him. This is what he would want us to do in any case. You got the right look in your eyes, honey. That's the look I like to see. You keep that look. You keep that anger. You keep it right there. That's what's going to get you through all this. But right now, we got to be smart. We're going to get these people to safety. Because if we were to put these people in danger for Truffaut, he would kick all our asses when we found him. So we're going to get these people out there to safety, and then we're going to get some friends, and we're going to come back here, and we're going to clear this place out. You got my promise on that.
All right, fine.
So as you head out, the other Simeon, Phil, as he comes by you, Pacino, is going to say, you did right by that boy, son. Good thing you did. That was a hard thing to do, but you did right by him.
I appreciate that. But don't call me son. Just glare at him.
Boy, I was your age when you was still wiping. Never mind. Let's get out of here. So you start climbing. Who goes first up the ladder?
Pacino's last.
Lloyd. I'll go up first. I'm being pushed by Savi. So
Hey, let's let them go up first. Let's let these folks go. Savvy, why don't you lead the way?
Sounds like Rocky will go up first. He climbs better and he's better at these kind of things. Get up there, Rocky.
I'll climb up the ladder, and I won't just leap out the top. I will poke my head out the top. And
Well, when you
look
get to the
around.
top, there's like one of those like submarine kind of thingamabobber. So hanging on
I'm
to
gonna
the
give it a-
ladder and putting
give it
your
a
back into
spin.
the thing. Yeah. Get a
it
stand
a
as it
spin and
opens. This cold
crack it.
wind blows in and snow starts to sort of blow in
Sorry.
on you. And as you pop out, where is you? Where is you are. So as you pop out, you realize you're in some sort of old compound. There are a couple buildings on either side of you that look like they haven't seen, hide nor hair of anyone, hide or hair of anyone in a long time. Like there's snow piled up next to them, and they're very much in a state of disrepair. And as you sort of climb out of here and you look down, you see in the snow bear paws that are leading away from this hatch that you've just climbed out of. And when you look down, you hear voices, but you can't quite see what's going on because it kind of goes downhill a little bit. But you hear some voices a little bit further down.
Down in. Sorry, I'm just trying to do down in this direction down here of the map, before the trail and the gate go to. GM down here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Down here in the kind of southeast quadrant of that map. That's where I hear the voices coming from.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
gonna quietly yelled out.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say as the rest of these freed prisoners are going up, Lloyd just looks at Pacino and Paige and just shakes his head. Fuck it. And he climbs up. He goes up after them.
All right. So when you start climbing up, you see Rocky's up there, and he's, I guess, giving you the sign of, keep low, keep down, or whatever. So you'll pile on out of that, and you'll hear, like he does, sort of voices down here. Gino will come up. Paige.
Boop.
Boop, boop. Sweet maps, by the way.
Dankeschön.
Incarnate Master.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't make the other one. I made this one. The other one was in the public domain thing. This one I made. So the others will kind of come out and sort of pile up behind here. So as you guys sort of come out and look down the hill, you see two things. One, you see lying near the gate a bear that's lying on his side with some blood having pooled beneath him, and standing guard around him are three of those fellas that had nabbed you at the beginning of this entire
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
3 of those fine fellows that had kidnapped you at the beginning of this entire adventure to go get you sacrificed. Or one of them is kind of keeping guard here, keeping an eye out, and the other 2 are hanging around this body of this bear that's on the ground down there, an old pile of blood. So I ask you, gentlemen, what would you like to do?
I'd like to
I'm
roll
charging in there
initiative.
full roar.
Yeah.
Racing
This gate,
forward.
the gate to freedom.
Well, doesn't really look like a very passable gate, but it is a giant fence that is electrified and looks like it's got lights and little turrets and stuff like that all along it.
I think someone had a dream about that.
I think someone had a dream about that. Let's get some initiative going.
Oh, hell yeah.
6.
I'm using some
You
feral
gotta come
points.
face to face with the people who got you into this entire mess to begin with.
Coincidentally, Christian, we were talking about that roller needing a reset button.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
refreshing the page because of how responsive the site is works really well for that.
Oh, yeah, it
Cool.
does.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So we have Savage Sky. I'm gonna roll. She gets 5. So the others are, kind of hiding out behind the buildings and the thing each came out of. At 6, we got both Lloyd and Pacino. Gentlemen or gentle animals.
I used 2 feral points to get that. I used my quick reflexes. Do I need to roll some feral?
Yeah, you need to roll
feral
twice.
dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once for every point you use.
I got a 5 and a 2. I think I'm okay.
You're good. All right. Anybody else activating anything? All right now. All
Not
right.
yet.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead, Pacino.
Oh, awesome. I'm assuming I'm going to need to use my fleet-footed to get into melee with one of these guys.
Yeah, it's going to
That's-
cost you the maneuver to get in with him. So
All right. So I will roll my feral point expenditure. That's
So
a
remember,
5.
you also have an advantage, right? All of you, none of you have used it.
So yeah, I use my fleet-footed. So Pacino just starts running on all 4s. He gets basically to the end of the bear tracks and leaps in the air, pulling the hammer out as he's flying through the air to bring it down on top of this guy. And I'm going to expend my advantage on this.
Alrighty.
So that's rolling. Just double check my math here. 1, 2. Nope, that's one too many for that. Okay. 13 dice. Here we go.
Oof.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. But I did get 2 explosions on my gear, so I'm not pushing.
All right.
Push. You'll be fine.
So with -1 armor, it gets 1 success. So that's 1 success less for you.
Okay.
And then tell me what you want to do with the rest of them.
I think I'm just pumping it all straight into damage, and I'm going to spend a feral point for huge to add an additional bonus damage to that.
Okay. So how much damage is that?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Jesus.
Right. So as you look up into the air from your all-out sort of rush on him, the wind and the snow is just whipping at you, and you see him just kind of turn around and realize you're coming in and sort of try to reach for his gun, and just as he brings it up, you crash into him with the hammer, break his gun in half, embed half of it in his shoulder, kind of giving good old Macklemore, wherever he is right now, a little bit of poetic vengeance as this man is stabbed with his own gun, and you just land on top of him with your hammer just crushing him, and he just folds in and just lays there completely unmoving and absolutely destroyed by your savage.
What's the bad roll for the feral point expenditure?
6.
Okay, so what do I have to roll now? Because I
Right.
got a 6 on my
Oh.
feral point.
All right.
Oh,
Nice.
feral
Now you have to
table,
roll- yeah, on the feral table.
page 61, I think.
Animal powers. The feral table. There you go. Give me
Is it just a d6 roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. That would be a 6.
Oh,
okay, you connect
Bye-bye.
with your inner beast, and for a moment it acts in perfect harmony with your human side. You regain the feral point you just spent and can immediately, in the same turn, activate the same power again with the same purpose as the first time or another. As
Holy
clarity
shit.
of vision just washes over you more than anything Lloyd has ever experienced with all his chemicals. And for a moment, you are in perfect unison, both sides of your being. And you just kind of flow into it, let that instinct guide you and that rage guide you, get your point back, and next turn you can, the next action you can do it again, have that power activated again.
Would you mind actually if I modified the use of that power ever so slightly and use it right now?
It says with the same purpose as the first time, activate the same power. What's the power?
Because I was activating huge to do damage, right? And so what I was thinking I could do then with this is staring over at the other two as I step on the skull of this guy and completely explode its skull under my boot, just staring at the both of them.
And you want to do what with that? Try to dominate them?
Potentially dominating them next turn.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Totally. I'm done with that. All right. Lloyd on 6. Nice round.
Lloyd is going to jump up onto the top of this structure, run across, and jump over this, whatever this fence is, crashing down. I'm going to use two maneuvers. I think I have to use 2 maneuvers to get to these guys.
Well, are you activating your super jump?
No, because I don't have any feral points available, unfortunately.
Yeah, all right. So, no, getting there is changing zone, so 1 maneuver would be enough.
So I use 1 maneuver and movement to get there. And do I still have an action at that point?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I do. Okay. Well, in that case, I will growl my best impersonation of Pacino, and then I'll just kind of like come up and just pop the guy with my brass knuckles.
All right. He's going to roll his armor.
Okay. So it's strength plus my fight, which I've been upgrading, plus my knucks. I got 1 success.
All right. So you jump in on him. Are you pushing?
Yep, I'm gonna push.
Go for it.
I got 2 more successes and 1 failure.
All right. So you get a feral point, I do believe, for your failure, and then you have to roll for your feral point expenditure.
I rolled a 5, so I'm okay, I think.
Yeah.
But I do take a. Let's see, that would
damage
be
to your
is that damage?
fight, which is your strength.
Yep. Okay.
All right. And how much damage does that total?
That would total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage.
5. All right. So his armor took some of it, a good chunk of it, as you punched in and kind of. They got like these really kind of high collars and these helmets on, so you kind of punched him and you felt that the armor took a lot of it, but you still got a little bit of it in there as you go, and kind of jerks back from your punch.
Okay.
All right. Next at 4 we have Paige.
I got.
Where's
Rob's
no,
got
sorry,
5.
5.
We
Wait,
got,
sorry,
yeah,
I
we
couldn't
got
see
2
it.
of 5.
Sorry, I couldn't see where the screen was.
Outside question: What does stunning an opponent do to them?
It does fatigue damage in addition to physical damage.
Okay, it doesn't like so it doesn't nix their next turn or something like that. Just does damage.
But I don't know. What is it by stunning? Do you mean? I thought you were talking about.
I was gonna activate. Activate one of my animal powers and do warning call, which is just can cause stun or doubt to. I mean, not can, it does. It causes stun / put doubt into enemies.
Yeah, so it does that. It does instinct damage to them.
Okay.
Doubt is instinct damage, so it's damage but of a different kind.
Ah.
So in this case, it's useful because they have armor.
Yeah. So I'm gonna a maneuver to cross into this zone.
Yeah, into their zone. Yeah.
To here, and I have to be near them for this to work, and that puts me near, I assume.
Yep.
Just running across the snow field. I use 2 feral points for the 2 of those guys to stun them both.
All right. So is this something you can direct, or is it anyone who hears you? Because Lloyd's standing right there.
Yeah. 1 second. Let me look that up again. I don't remember.
What's it called?
Warning call. Let me find out fast here.
By spending, you can emit a warning call enough to be heard from a mile away. Other animal mutants can hear nuance in your call, which can be altered to indicate simple message. Your call can also be used to stun enemies at up to near range. You inflict 1 level of doubt on the number of victims equal to the number of feral points you spent. All right. So you wouldn't, if you spend 2 feral points, you could try and affect just the 2 bad guys.
Yep, I will do so.
All right. So make your roll.
Okay, and I'm just rolling instinct.
No. 1, not 2.
Sorry.
No, you just inflict a number of level of doubt equal to the number of feral points you spend. So you don't roll anything. It just happens. They get 2 doubt damage each. And you...
If I used all 4 of my 4 feral points, could I give them 4 damage each?
Yep.
I'll do that.
You inflict 1 level of doubt. No, sorry. You inflict 1 level of doubt on the number of victims. So you can you can only do 1. On the number of victims equal to the number. So the number of feral points you spend is the number of people you can affect, but it's 1 point of doubt each. So they have 1 doubt each. You roll twice to see if you go feral when you use your feral points. 1 for each of your feral points. Yeah.
A 1 and a 3.
Okay, you're good. You don't go feral.
Run up to them and let's go.
Like, what the?
And it reverberates across the valley.
And one of them's like, I hate monkeys.
I didn't get back far enough for the mic, I guess. No.
I have
No,
really
really
big ears. I have really big ears, and that hurt. I don't take any doubt damage, but I got a migraine.
Paige.
Okay. All right. Seeing everything that's going on and knowing that the rifle doesn't necessarily do too well against living creatures so far as I'm starting to get the idea, because I'm gonna actually run in there, and I think it takes a maneuver to get close enough, like that close.
Yep.
Okay. So his choice then is well, I'm not necessarily like really good with just I can't necessarily punch them like Lloyd can, and the hell with it. I am kind of strong, so I'm rushing up, and I'm going to try and how do we say there's a word for this. I'm gonna try to take the damn gun from him if he has one.
All right, you're gonna try to disarm him is the word you're looking for.
Yes.
All right, so what I'm going to say is make a normal fight roll, and if you get a second success, you can do the disarm thing, and then you'll have the gun from him.
All right, here we go. So fight roll.
Fight plus your strength.
Thank God I'm strong. I use my
Advantage.
Yeah, advantage.
2 points.
Yeah,
Your dice.
same part. Okay. I did get 2 successes
Nice.
And there's 2 ones in there on
Okay,
the
the
yellow.
ones don't
Don't
matter
push.
until you push. No problem. So with your 2 points, you manage to, kind of rush up to him and then kind of wrestle him out. You'll do 1 damage to him, and then you can take his gun away from him with the second one with a stunt. So you manage to pull the rifle out of his hands from him with your extra stunt. Savage Sky from upstairs fires an arrow into one of these guys and does some damage to him. She did 3 points of damage.
To which one?
To the one near the one that Paige is fighting. So this one, we'll say, has been arrowed. Then they're going to go, seeing as how you took his gun, he is going to use a maneuver to prepare a weapon, basically, and he's going to pull out from under his coat what looks like a little baseball bat, but you see electricity sort of shoot through it, and he's going to hit you upside the head with it. Paige, you can, if you want, spend your next action you're going to get to try and block, or you just trust in your armor.
I'm gonna trust in my armor and additionally use a feral point for natural armor.
Alrighty.
If he does land.
So how much armor do you have?
It's the jacket, so that's what, 2 die?
2 plus 1 for your armor thing.
The natural armor would just automatically reduce 1 of their
so that's
damage that they
your
would
armor.
do to me.
All right, so you take a grand total of 1 strength damage and 1 what's it called, stun damage, as the stun baton hits you. So that's fatigue and strength. So 1 strength and 1 agility damage.
Okay.
As the stun baton flashes as he hits you with it. And roll a dice if you spent a feral point to see if you took bonkers.
I got a 3.
All right, you're good. The one facing Lloyd is going to use a maneuver to step back, and then with his revolver, it's just gonna unload into you because bad guy. That's what bad guys do. Are you going to try to dodge, or are you just going to take it?
I am going to try to dodge.
All right. So your action next turn is,
Yep, dodge action.
No problem. So go ahead.
What do I roll? My armor?
No. Well, hold on and roll your armor for a second.
Okay.
Move plus agility.
Yeah, so your move plus agility first to see if you dodge any of his.
Okay, so move plus agility. Got it. Boop, boop. And pretty agile. I'm sure this will be fine. I got 1 success.
Okay. You know, 1 success. All right, so it's not enough to. It takes away one of his successes, but it's not enough to have him completely miss you. How much is your armor worth?
I have a +2.
+2. All right, so that takes off 2 of his other armor. So he hits you with 1 damage.
Okay.
So his gun does 2, so you take 2 physical damage. I'm not gonna push, maybe. Yeah, he's gonna push.
I was like, what's happening?
He's pushing.
He's gonna push. He's going to push and get a destruction thing on his gear, fortunately for him. And he is going to, with the extra damage that he just got, he is going to use his stunt to he is
Bring
going
it.
Mm.
It increases initiative score by 2, I think, because he's feeling a little bit
Kind of cocky.
Yeah, it's gonna increase his initiative score by 2. And having done 2 damage, he has his revolver and just spits lead at you.
So
All right.
as the bullet hits Lloyd square in the chest, he is I don't know what caliber it is, but he's lifted off the ground and like in slow motion. The bullet tears through the back of him. Blood sprays across the snow, and Lloyd flies through the air and just lands motionless on his back, and blood just begins to pool out of him into the snow as he is broken.
Uh-oh. All right. The Lloyd
Good thing
is
we've got
broken.
2 healers.
Back up to the top. Lloyd bleeds, and Pacino.
Seeing Lloyd get shot, he is going to pick up the carcass of the one that he just killed, staring at the one that just shot Lloyd, and attempt to dominate him.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm assuming that I get my rank bonus on this.
You're doing it to the one who shot Lloyd, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you a +1 gear bonus for holding up the dead body of the other guy.
Okay. Any perk from the power use last turn?
Yeah,
Or-
same thing it would have given you normally, right? So
Thanks,
+2.
Vamp. We all just got an advantage from Vamp Wickman, everybody.
Oh, the vamp coming in. McElroy.
I will happily use that right
From
now.
the bushes, just watching over you from the bushes there.
Thanks, Vamp.
So, with all of those bonuses, then I am rolling 14 dice.
Whoa.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I miscounted. 13 dice. I was looking at the wrong number. 13 dice.
Nasty.
Ooh, I'm gonna push this. I did get 2 successes and 1, but I'm gonna push anyway because that's a lot of extra dice I could get. So that's my it's better and not better. So I got 2 biohazard symbols, but I also got 4 successes.
All right, 4 successes. So take 2, and in this case, it would be
Instinct.
instinct damage.
Mm-hmm.
Get 2 feral points.
Yep.
Roll. I don't know if you'd roll again for the expenditure since the points came back last time and it was part of the 6. I'm going to say you don't have to roll again to see if your animal side goes crazy or not. I'm going to say it's a given in that one.
Okay.
And then with 4 successes, I had 1 success. So what is it exactly you're trying to dominate him into doing? Dropping his gun running away, surrendering, peeing his pants,
dropping his gun and coming over to me, but with my extra dice or with my extra successes, that also inflicts 2 points of doubt.
All right, so you already had a point of doubt, so now he's up to 3.
Yeah.
And in a moment, as you stand up and sort of all your bear howl at him and just stand there, kind of like the Predator with the dude's, skull and spine kind of hanging out his hands.
Yelling at him to come here.
You seem to like,
Get over here.
He throws his gun down and he gets on his knees. He's like, no, please, man. Come on, please. We didn't do this. He starts crawling towards you. He's like, that wasn't us. We just found him this way.
Is his instinct broken?
Huh? No, he's got one left.
Instinct...
But he's got one left, but he's in pretty dire shape. He's their leader, so he had fire. I mean, he's coming towards. He's like, we didn't do this. We just found him this way, man. We just found him this way.
And I will use my maneuver to just walk over. I will drop the body of his friend, and I will just walk over to him.
All right. Seeing this, the other guy is going to drop his stun baton and put his hands up and go, I give up, man. I give up, as he's standing in front of Paige.
If I can, I'm going to leap over to heal the bunny rabbit.
All right, you gonna help him out there, Travis? Or are you gonna keep an eye on this feller?
I would absolutely love to. Like if it's possible for me to take the last of the healing potions off of my thermos and hand it to Rocky in the event that like he needs to use it, because it looks like it's pretty bad. I mean,
Okay.
well, he just got shot, and I'm just keeping the gun trained on this guy. Like,
Yeah, and as you're doing it, so this guy comes in and is covering them also. All right, so give us your medicine roll there.
Yeah, I got 10 dice for because I got field med pack, heal, skill at 2, and
Nice. So he busts out the pack,
instinct
opens
at
it
4,
up, like
so-
there's all sorts of things that come out of there, you know, to assist him.
So
Good
I'll use
sir.
those 10 dice.
Yep.
And roll.
gonna rub his belly too.
3 successes and a gear dice, a black dice explosion.
All right.
Yeah,
As long as you
explosions
don't
of
push
light.
it. As long as you don't
No,
push
those
it.
3 successes should be.
So Lloyd, you've been broken, so you need to roll
Hmm.
on the broken table.
Okay.
I'm looking for.
Oh, right, critical.
That's right.
Fun.
Looking for right now.
If I
It
push it,
is
what
on
would it do in
page
terms of helping him?
81.
Sorry,
It's-
Ethan.
It's a
I
D6.
said if I push, how would that help Lloyd more?
It's not gonna help him more.
I didn't think so.
Honestly, it's just going to lower the amount of time. So recovery, being broken.
How much strength does Lloyd have?
2,
3.
3.
Oh, he has 3. Yeah, so he'll get healed to full off the trauma.
Yeah.
But I have to roll on the
Just a
critical
second.
injuries table, which is on
Yeah.
81.
Yep.
So
Yep,
go for it.
just roll 2d6. I've got it open right now.
Yep, I've got it as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see. My eye has been gouged out. So
Ah.
apparently it shot me in the eye.
I didn't gouge your eye out.
You know what?
They'll shoot your eye out.
And your scrying came true from earlier when you were seeing with just
Yeah, I know.
Ah,
one eye
I
on the
know.
other side. So I'll give you. You're supposed to get a bonus. I'll give you. I don't know if there'll be much of another roll, but you'll get a bonus of 2 more points if ever for your scrying having come true. What's the gouged eye? -2 to shoot and scout. 3d6.
I'm gonna say it's permanent. I mean, he got shot with a bullet through the eye.
All right, I dig it.
I also have a heal potion on me that I could administer.
Well, so what your heal is gonna.
Yeah.
So what it would have done is it would have cut down the healing time from the injury, but he's waving that off to keep the injury.
Okay.
So you pop him back up, like you healed it from his
Hmm.
trauma. So he's at full strength right away, but he's lost the sight, the use of his eye, and as you're kind of coming up, and you know you've kind of brought him back from all that, and your eye's kind of bleeding. So Scale will come by to you, and she'll take the scarf around her neck, and she'll fold it over, and then she'll kind of wound it around your head, and kind of give you a little bandage over your.
As you heal him up, Lloyd just reaches up and grabs the collar of your shirt, Rocky. Am I dead? Am I dead?
You're live with this. You'll live with this a little bit longer.
Ah,
I
shit.
got a marble for that eye. You can put in there.
Help me up.
I'll pull up the bunny.
Are we out of
Walk it
combat
off.
at this point?
Yeah, you're out of combat. You have the two have surrendered. They're on their knees, you know, like this. They're still wearing their helmets and their masks and stuff, but they're sort of like this.
The one that I had dominated, I'm just going to reach down, grab by the throat, haul it up to where feet are not touching the ground, and stare at it, growling, "Give me one reason for you to live."
Look, we didn't do this. He points at the guy at the Baron guy. He's like, we didn't do this. We just found him this way. We were just looking. see if you needed help. We didn't do anything.
Do I?
Hmm.
Actually, I don't even care if I believe him or not. I just choke him. I do the wrestling power slam, choke slam into the ground.
As you choke slam
Only,
him,
actually murdering him.
as you choke slam him into the ground, his helmet flies off, and as you choke slam him into the ground, you recognize.
Oh
Say,
no.
reveal.
Oh,
Yep.
that's son of a.
Those dead ears
Vidane?
of Zidane.
Mm-hmm.
Zidane, you son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Knew it.
Oh.
The other guy's like, "You're gonna kill me too."
You know these guys? You know these guys?
Take your helmet off.
Takes off his helmet. You don't recognize him. He's a dog.
Point him off.
Fuck, you don't recognize them. Fucking dog. Dogs are the ones who are the conspirators.
I give up, man. I give up. I had nothing to do with this, man. Just earning a living.
Uh-huh.
Is anyone going to check on the bear? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. I'm
Of
right
course.
there. It's the bear. Is it Truffaut?
Yes, it is. When you go there, you recognize him. He's got an eye patch, exactly the opposite eye of where Lloyd's eye is, and you recognize him by that. Obviously, because that's kind of his trademark. He's wounded, but he's breathing, and appears to still be alive. It appears that sort of from where you're looking and whatnot, it looks like maybe he was shot by some of the turrets that are on this fence as he approached it. But it didn't kill him. He's there. He's quite wounded. You can you could pop him a potion if you wanted to kind of help him back up.
Or do another heal roll? I mean, another.
No, the
he's
heal
not
only
broken.
helps if he's
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a heal potion. I can
All right.
lift his head gently and
Pour that down his throat.
gently because he's a giant friggin' bear, and I'm
Yeah.
scared of bears now.
And as he sort of comes to, he's like,
throat.
"Thanks, friend. Hey, I recognize you. Rocky, right?" And he pats the side of your head.
Yeah. I'm shocked to be honored to be recognized.
How'd you come to be here?
I point back over at Savi. Over there. She brought us.
Oh, of course. Good old Savi. Help me up here, bro. And he's just trying to sit up.
I got a little tiny guy trying to push him up a bit, act as a.
Who are your friends?
For him. They have, I think, this is Pacino and Lloyd, the one looks like you now, and and memory's fading. Memory's fading.
Paige.
And Paige. I had Palm Head and Paige. I think they have something for you.
Truffaut takes you all in and looks up at you and goes, "Of course, I heard of you, Scar. Not surprised to find you here. Kind of thing you get involved in, I guess." He looks over at Lloyd and says, "That bunny's about 1,700 steak dinners away from looking anything like me. But I like your style." And he looks at Paige and goes, "That gun's bigger than you, boy. Were you aware that you had a piece of duct tape flopping off the side of your shell?"
Oh, yeah. We'll fix that. Maybe when spring hits.
Sounds good.
Temporary solution. Blame Pacino. He's the mastermind.
You have some for me, Rocky was saying.
Just stands up, still holding the limp body of the rabbit in his one hand by the neck. Walks over to Lloyd. Other hand just kind of helps Lloyd stand up. How you doing?
Not too good. Fucking A. I feel like shit. What did we do here? What did we accomplish? I hope it
Give
was
him the
worth it.
thing.
Here you go, Truffaut.
And he pulls out the cube and hands it to him.
Guess this means that Hitch didn't make it.
Afraid not.
No.
Sad day.
Sad few days.
He looks at you and he throws it back at you, Lloyd. That's not what I needed, though.
Exactly. Can't see very well anymore. So
Yeah,
That's
depth
not what I
perception's
needed,
off.
though. I just needed that. And he points at the gun to get to that.
Points at what gun?
The EMP gun.
Oh,
ah,
That's what we need to start fighting these things. Guess you saved me the trouble of having to go get it myself. Right. He gets up slowly. I guess we better show you boys the way then.
yes.
Come in with us. A lot of resistance now.
There's no
Take
going
those
back.
tags off.
just look at Lloyd and Paige, like going back and forth between the two of them, trying to gauge their general demeanors at the moment.
We've come this far, buddy.
Yeah. At this point, if I don't do it now, I mean, nothing will change for me except this. I'll just be another one of them.
You see those people over there? You see those critters?
And Lloyd points over at the people that we liberated.
Yep.
That's the kind of shit we can do now. We can help people. We can make our own decisions, you know. We can be the good guys. I'm in. And he kind of like stumbles over to Truffaut and just kind of reaches out his hand to shake it.
Truffle will take your little paw in his giant paw. Shake you gently, not to break you.
Pacino, says Rocky, and look, I know that we haven't hit it off, maybe, and I know that you think people have made poor decisions that have ended their lives. But I point over at those people that just came out of the shelter and saying this. I said, but that's not living either. That's not living. This is living.
Yeah, I know. Don't mind me, man. I'm just getting old. I've seen a lot of shit. And he like stumbles over. No, he's not injured, but he like walks over to Paige and just like takes a paw and ruffles the top of his head a little bit and says, "Somebody's got to keep this little guy in hugs, doesn't he?" Reaches down and gives him a little bit of a like shoulder hug. I'll go
Easy.
where these two go. And I'm making dinner tonight. And I just hold up the carcass of the rabbit.
I'm gonna put in a vegetarian request tonight.
Truffle looks at you, Paige. He goes, "You coming with us then, Mr. Sniper?"
Oh. I do have the missing puzzle to this. And you know what? It wouldn't be right if I didn't follow through.
I like the cut of your jib. We've all been hurt. We've all been injured and shed blood, but that's what we do. We bleed in winter. We shed blood in winter so that we may heal in the summer. Summer will come soon enough for us, but we're going to have to make it come to us we're going to have to go and get it. Starts here right now. If you're willing, you come with us and we'll go home. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the real work. And with that, helping each other, helping the family that you've rescued and the others that you've saved, you will go back through the mountain, over it, and eventually arrive at what looks like a giant downed helicopter with a number of other animals around it, all very happy to see everyone coming back and welcoming you to the Resistance.
Hell yeah. Wow.
I assume somebody stopped over and got the moose who was waiting for us out of the front of the cage.
Yeah, when you leave, you come back around the side and you pick him up on the way. He's still there
sage.
waiting. Like
He's
the credits
a sage.
on this
He
thing
knew.
roll at the end. He comes back
Exactly. We walk past in. The moose is like days later. He's still.
Nice job, guys. We did it.
Yes, very good.
Indeed.
Very good job, everybody.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Chris, for running us through this module. And
Yeah.
or,
Oh, yeah.
not a
Thank
module.
you.
You created this. This is all crazy shit out of your brain.
That's where a lot of crazy shit resides. Yes, and sometimes maybe it'd be better if it stayed there.
No.
God help us.
Bring it to
Sorry
the
for
world,
rushing
man.
you a little bit there in the end through the thing, but the map was just too big and
That was big. And we had no idea where to go. There's so many options. So but that was great.
the nature of the beast, I
Yeah.
guess, of these short shots. Thank you very much for playing, guys. I had a ton of fun putting this together and coming up with this thing and getting to know the game. Another extremely fine product by Freely. Maybe someday we can come back and see what the guys are up to with Truffaut and the others out in Paradise Valley. Thank you very much to all the people who stuck with us, watched this from the beginning, our crazy adventures. We thank you very much.
Yeah, we're gonna do a quick raid into Darling Creepshow here in a second, but if everybody
could we
wants
get
to
quick one last
outros?
round of everyone?
Yep. Let's do some outros.
All right, we'll start with Miko this time.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at @the_OKS_GM, and feel free to check out my content on D&D Beyond. Links in the chat.
Cool stuff. Travis.
YouTube.
Brain fart.
Ethan.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Travis and Miko. Thanks you guys for bringing me into playing your game. Dave, thanks for organizing the whole shenanigans and asking me again to step in. And Chris, really thanks a lot for GMing and writing this cool stuff. I had a great time. When I'm not doing this, you can find me on Twitch as well, painting minis, playing D&D at Armin. Thanks, man.
Travis, you good to go, or are you gonna pass?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you to all of you definitely for making this an incredibly fun experience. So I had a blast with every one of you. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on my YouTube channel. Pretty much just Eversalt. I don't think anybody else has that name besides myself.
I don't know what it means.
You are the Eversalt. You are the Eversalt. Bleak, tell us about you, buddy.
Condiments in your life? Sorry.
Salt and pepper.
Just salt. Yeah, not much to say. The Bleak season on Twitter. Be seeing you with some other games coming up here on the Superior Guild channel. Big thank you to Dave for asking me to run this, for participating. Big thank you to all the players. You were all awesome. You really brought this thing to life, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Dave.
Guys, I'm Dungeon Dave. I run games, play games, and produce games here on the Superior Adventures Guild. Don't forget about our Wednesday night Beyond Saltmarsh game. We're getting close to the end. We've only got a couple sessions left. So come and join us on Wednesdays, 7 to 10 p.m. CST. We got a lot of other cool stuff coming up, as Christian alluded to. More games, more fun, more opportunities to play. If you want to get involved with us, the best way to do that is hop on over to our Discord channel and join the community. It's a great little community of people. And without further ado, we're going to dive over to our friend Creep on the Darling Creep Show channel, where they're hanging out and doing some creepy shit, because that's what they do. We'll see you, my friends, next time. Wednesday. Wednesday's the next time. We'll see you on Wednesday. We'll see you Wednesday, baby.
Yeah.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Thank you, guys.